Chapter 567. Looks like the Sovereign King's aura's strength will be greatly reduced when there are fewer demons around. Although the demon spirit was very strong, Ning Tian still noticed something that he had to pay attention to. The reason why it's so strong now is because there are many demon spirits around. If there are fewer demon spirits, the Sovereign King's aura's effect will be greatly reduced. This is something that he has to pay attention to. Bang! Boom! Boom! The Sovereign King demon spirit's punch directly smashed Long Feng into the ground. Along with a deafening roar, the demon aura on the ground exploded and a human-shaped pit was formed. That punch is so strong. As expected of the founder, a glint flashed across the eyes of the immortal dragon deity and the other demon deities. Even though they were watching from afar, they could feel the extremely powerful fist intent from the demon spirit behind Ning Tian. Even they were extremely wary of this fist intent, and this is only the founder's demon spirit. One has to know, under normal circumstances, a demon spirit can only display 3/4 of its strength. If the founder were to personally take action, wouldn't he be able to destroy Long Feng with a single punch? Unfortunately, they were wrong, because the founder's aura cannot be considered as normal. The demon spirit's strength, under the support of the Sovereign King's aura, the surrounding demons, and the 4 demon gods, has far surpassed Ning Tian's strength. Boom! Boom! In the huge pit on the ground, a terrifying demon aura burst out. Following that, a figure burst out from the pit. With a furious dragon roar, a fist smashed towards Ning Tian in the blink of an eye. Boom! Seeing this, Ning Tian was very casual. He waved his hand and allowed the Sovereign King to fight. The Sovereign King's body flickered with black flames, and a burst of demon aura was emitted from his body. That 100-feet-tall body looked down at the tiny Long Feng. Although his face was covered in black mist and his appearance could not be seen clearly, that red light seemed to flash with disdain. Following that, he threw out a punch. Boom! At this moment, following Ning Tian's demon spirit's punch, the surrounding demons and demon spirits trembled. What a strong punch! Damn it! This god does not believe that I can't deal with a mere demon spirit. At this moment, Long Feng still didn't know how serious the situation was. He didn't know that this punch didn't only contain the power of Ning Tian's demon spirit. At this moment, he was actually trying to turn the tide. Pooh! Bang bang bang! Demonic aura shrouded half of the sky as Long Feng and the demon spirit emperor engaged in a fierce battle. After dozens of rounds, most of the demonic aura in Long Feng's body had been depleted, and he felt as if his body had been emptied. However, the 100-feet-tall demonic spirit in front of him was unaffected. Its demonic aura was still strong, and there were no signs of the demonic spirit dissipating. That brat. Who is he? How is he able to maintain the demon all this time? And his demon spirit aura, why do I feel that there are so many different types of demon spirit energy? What? Long Feng gritted his teeth as cold sweat trickled down his forehead. When his gaze landed on the myriad demon shrine, his pupils suddenly constricted, and his expression turned extremely ugly, because that brat had unknowingly sat back on the throne. He took out an apple and was watching his battle with relish. From the beginning to the end, he didn't care about his own demon spirit at all. He only allowed his demon spirit to fight freely. Long Feng's expression was extremely ugly. Do you want an apple too? Ning Tian smiled as he looked at Long Feng. Then, he took a light bite of the apple. The crisp sound of the bite resounded in everyone's ears. In an instant, the group of people's expressions became strange. Especially the 4 great demon gods, they didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The only one who could take out an apple to take a bite out of it during a battle was the ancestor. Pooh. Long Feng was already injured in the battle with the demon spirit. He had been in a suppressed state the entire time. At this moment, when he saw Ning Tian's smiling face and chewing on the apple, he couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of black blood from his chest. Seeing that Long Feng was angered to the point of vomiting blood, Ning Tian didn't care. He even wanted to call the demon spirit emperor to give him a punch. In any case, Long Feng wasn't the first to be angered to the point of vomiting blood by him. He also wouldn't be the last. Just who is this guy? Could it be that he's a young, ancient god that has awakened in the demon god realm? It seems like, when I return, I have to tell Lord Ancient God about this matter. The great Yaos who followed Long Feng all frowned when they saw this. They murmured and sighed. Aside from a sliver of fear, there was also a sliver of deep shock in their eyes when they looked at Ning Tian. That's right. It was shock. You have shocked a few great demons. You have shocked the surrounding demons. Reward: the demon spirit emperor's strength will increase by 2 times. Effective time: 1 hour. Boom. Along with the system's voice, the demon spirit emperor's demonic aura shook, and his aura soared. What's going on? It became stronger again? Seeing this scene, Long Feng was stunned. Interesting. This ancestral master likes godly opponents like you guys. The corner of Ning Tian's mouth raised into a meaningful smile. His eyes fell on the few great demons that were shrouded in demonic aura. The few great demons were stunned. What does it have to do with me? Kid, you forced me to take action. Long Feng gritted his teeth. That pair of dragon eyes flashed with a touch of darkness. Then, a dragon roar sounded. A black dragon that also reached 100 feet appeared behind him. That's his demon spirit. This is the immemorial abyss dragon. How can you condense such a demon spirit? The immemorial abyss dragon has long been extinct in the dark turmoil. Seeing that black dragon with a strong sense of oppression, the immortal dragon god in the distance couldn't help but change his expression. His eyes flashed with a trace of seriousness. Ha ha ha. This is the benefit of following that lord. Once the abyss dragon soul appears, who can compete with it? Long Feng laughed wildly. After that powerful immemorial abyss dragon appeared, Long Feng instantly felt that he could do it again. Dark turmoil? Ning Tian raised his eyebrows and then looked at Long Feng with a kind face. Your dragon soul is not bad. We are fated. Fated? Long Feng sneered. The demon spirit behind him surged. So what if we are fated? If you have the ability, go ahead and snatch it. At this moment, the few great demons seemed to have discovered something and hurriedly reminded. Lord Long Feng, look at the surrounding demon spirits and that guy's demon spirit. There seems to be some kind of energy supply. Energy supply? Long Feng was stunned for a moment. Then, he suddenly looked around and found that the demon spirits of the surrounding demons had appeared. Moreover, if he looked carefully, he could vaguely see a trace of demonic aura flowing into the 100 feet demon spirit. At this moment, Long Feng understood. F***CK. This god was also wondering why this kid's power was strange. It turned out that he used the power of other demon spirits. Kid, you are simply shameless. His pair of dragon eyes were filled with a fierce light as he stared at Ning Tian. So, it was like this. Then, wasn't he fighting with the nearby demons just now? This god is really strong. He wasn't even beaten to death. Shameless? You demon god's mouth is really sweet. You know how to praise people. Ning Tian looked at Long Feng with a smile. This god is not praising you. Long Feng stared. At this moment, the group of great demons that followed him silently analyzed. They were all great demons, and even had the power of demon spirits, but how did Ning Tian condense the power of other demon spirits? This guy can actually control the power of other demon spirits. How did he do it? It's simply terrifying. This group of great demons silently analyzed, and then shocked themselves, causing Long Feng to die. You have shocked a group of great demons. Reward: satisfy other people's wishes card. Let the other party be satisfied. We are good people. Limited to 1 hour of use. If you exceed the time limit, this card will be invalid. Oh? Hearing this, Ning Tian raised his eyebrows. This thing was ridiculous. What did you just say? If I am fated with this dragon spirit, then? Ning Tian looked at Long Feng with a smile. Humph. So what if you are fated? If you are fated, then take it away if you have the ability. Ridiculous. Long Feng sneered. and then the huge immemorial abyss dragon demon spirit behind him shook and was about to attack Ning Tian. However, at this moment, Ning Tian raised his smiling face and looked at Long Feng. Then, as you wish. As soon as his voice faded, Ning Tian raised his hand, and the Demon King behind him also did the same. Satisfy other people's wishes card. Use successful. Boom. In an instant, a huge amount of demon chi condensed, and then the immemorial abyss dragon demon spirit flew towards Ning Tian uncontrollably. In the process of flying, its body became smaller and smaller, and finally turned into a ball of energy, which was devoured by the Demon King. The entire process happened in the blink of an eye. Long Feng was dumbfounded. The demon spirit was snatched away, and it was not under his control at all. All right, as you wish. Ning Tian clapped his hands, and the job was done. What evil thoughts could the ancestor have? He was just helping Long Feng fulfill his wish. Next, it's your turn. Ning Tian's gaze fell on Long Feng's body, and a trace of ridicule flashed in his eyes. At this moment, the Demon King, who had devoured the immemorial abyss dragon demon spirit, had a trace of dragon chi on its body, like a set of armor. Then, using your strength to destroy you, it shouldn't be too much, right? Ning Tian chuckled. Then, the 100-feet demon spirit behind him erupted with a terrifying aura, like a dragon roar, and suppressed Long Feng. This power, he was extremely familiar with it. It was the power of the immemorial abyss dragon demon spirit. F***CK. What the hell is going on? How can this brat take away the power of this god's demon spirit? This was obviously bestowed to me by those lords. I hope this brat can't grasp the true power of this immemorial abyss demon spirit. At this moment, Long Feng's heart was hysterical. He didn't know why all of this was happening. So, this immemorial abyss dragon demon spirit has its own suppressive characteristics. However, just as he was hysterical in his heart, he heard Ning Tian's slow voice. Long Feng's face changed, but suddenly, a huge amount of demon chi appeared above his head. Ning Tian's Demon King suddenly raised its big hand, and along with the cold word from Ning Tian's mouth, an invisible force enveloped Long Feng. Suppress. Boom. As soon as he finished speaking, the sky shook, and countless demon chi enveloped Long Feng. No. No, no. Long Feng let out a blood-curdling scream. His body did not resist at all as he was slammed heavily onto the ground. At that moment, a crack that was thousands of meters long appeared on the ground, as if it was an abyss. It directly suppressed Long Feng within it. I won't kill you for the time being. After all, you are a great tonic. Ning Tian muttered, looking at the other great demons, the corner of his mouth raised into a smile, and you guys, boom, accompanied by a roar. A suppressive force that even Long Feng couldn't resist emerged from the Demon King's hand, and it blasted towards the great demons. They didn't have any resistance at all, and were directly suppressed by this palm. It's over. The immortal dragon god and the other demon gods muttered to themselves. Damn! Ancestral Master is damn strong. The wolf blood demon god's eyes flashed with excitement. Ancestral Master, how do you want to deal with these people? The immortal dragon god looked over with a trace of inquiry in his eyes. Some good nutrients, it's just right for Sha Tian to swallow. Ning Tian said lightly. Swallowed by Sha Tian? The demon gods were stunned. Of course. Ning Tian nodded slightly, and then directly summoned the flame-sealing Lion King from the Imperial Beast Gourd. At this moment, Sha Tian was shrouded in a red light, and was still devouring Tao Tai's beast soul. System, use the Auxiliary Devour card. Using Auxiliary Devour card. As the system's voice fell, the layer of red light on the flame-sealing Lion King's body began to circulate, turning into waves of demon aura and entering its body. Moreover, the speed of the demon aura circulation was constantly accelerating. Boom. Just a few minutes later, a gush of demon aura erupted from the flame-sealing Lion King's body. Roar. Then, a lion's roar came from its mouth. Immediately after, under the gaze of the demon gods, a red light appeared on the flame-sealing Lion King's body. Accompanied by the flickering red light, its body also expanded at the same time. Boom, boom, boom. Hundreds of feet, thousands of feet, thousands of feet. In the end, when the flame-sealing Lion King's body was so huge that all the demons in the demon divine realm could see it, its body was already close to its limit. Many buildings collapsed under its powerful oppression. Many Demon Clan experts who didn't know what was happening looked at that huge creature with a shocked expression. That day, countless buildings in the demon divine realm recalled the fear of being dominated by the flame-sealing Lion King. At this moment, after devouring the beast soul of Tao Tai, the flame-sealing Lion King still retained its original appearance. Its fur turned blood red, and the only change was that there was a pair of giant horns on its head. The flame-sealing Lion King has become so huge. No wonder it's the ancestral master's mascot. Mascot? You call this thing a mascot? If it lands on your house will be lucky. The voices of the demon gods could be heard from the side. Ning Tian looked at the huge flame-sealing Lion King and frowned slightly. This lion seemed to be a little too big. With Sha Tian's strength, he can't devour all of the Tao Ye's beast souls in one go. He has to stop. Sha Tian, stop. Ning Tian looked at the huge flame-sealing Lion King and said indifferently, "Roar." The flame-sealing Lion King roared loudly. At this moment, with its huge body, the lion's roar was like a muffled thunder. When the roar fell, the myriad demon shrine was affected and cracks appeared. Seeing this scene, the wolf blood demon god's eyes lit up. The dismantling technique has evolved. It has the effect of a sonic boom. At the same time, a red glow appeared on the flame-sealing Lion King's body. Its body began to shrink and eventually became 100 feet tall. It seemed that the flame-sealing Lion King understood that if it did not stop, it would only grow infinitely and eventually explode and die. The flame-sealing Lion King has finished devouring. Part of the energy will continue to be devoured as its strength increases. Fetters acquired. The energy devoured by the flame-sealing Lion King can be returned to the host. In his mind, the system's voice fell. Oh? Hearing this, Ning Tian raised his eyebrows. This little lion could finally play a role other than destroying the enemy's nest. However, he liked this role. Come, Sha Tian, devour those guys. Ning Tian pointed at Long Feng and the others who were suppressed by him and said to the flame-sealing Lion King, "Roar." The flame-sealing Lion King roared and looked at Long Feng and the other demon gods. Suddenly, its eyes lit up. Although it had devoured Tao Tai's beast soul, it would not devour without restraint like Tao Tai. Humph! A mere stupid lion is not worthy of devouring this demon god. Long Feng snorted. Is that so? Ning Tian smiled. The flame-sealing Lion King suddenly roared and suddenly opened its abyssal mouth that was like a black hole. The terrifying aura shook Long Feng and the other demon gods until their scalps went numb. Their expressions changed. This aura is Tao Tai. Long Feng's expression changed drastically. The lion could not devour him, but Tao Tai might not. I didn't expect you to know something. Ning Tian raised his eyebrows slightly. You shocked Long Feng with the flame-sealing Lion King. Reward: the flame-sealing Lion King's intelligence increases by 1 point. Ning Tian, forget it. It would be deducted sooner or later anyway. Roar, roar, roar. The flame-sealing Lion King let out a low roar. Then, it opened its mouth and swallowed Long Feng and the other demon gods. Born with a huge abyssal mouth, its appetite was like the ancient Tao Tai. Boom, boom, boom. Along with a series of explosions, Long Feng and the other demon gods were suppressed here. They did not have the slightest ability to resist. That terrifying huge mouth enveloped them. In that instant, they were a little afraid of the chewing pain. But at this moment, a strange stench came out from the huge mouth. F***CK. What is this smell? Long Feng's expression changed drastically. He, who was already seriously injured, fainted from this strange stench. However, this was also good. He did not have to feel the pain of chewing. Long Feng and the others died peacefully in the mouth of the flame-sealing Lion King. They did not even let out a scream. After all, they had fainted from the stench. Burp. Although there was little meat, the most important thing was energy. Therefore, after devouring a few demon gods, the flame-sealing Lion King let out a big burp. The stench instantly engulfed the surroundings, causing the surrounding demon gods to suffer unspeakably. Boom! At the same time, a surge of energy suddenly appeared in Ning Tian's body. This was the energy that the flame-sealing Lion King had devoured. Congratulations to the host for breaking through to 5-star Ancestor God Realm. Really? I accidentally made a breakthrough? Zhang Xin sighed deeply. Ning Tian murmured. It seemed that the energy it had devoured was indeed huge. It seemed that he would have to bring the flame-sealing Lion King to tear it apart and eat more in the future. At this moment, after devouring a few demon gods, Sha Tian's aura also skyrocketed. His body gradually shrank and turned back into the appearance of the mascot with 2 small horns on his head. Moreover, he was still burping. It was obvious that he had eaten too much. Roar, burp, roar, burp. After burping a few times, Sha Tian's body suddenly trembled. The lion's eyes lost their color. The whole process lasted for a long time. Sha Tian, have you eaten too much? Seeing this scene, Ning Tian frowned. When the flame-sealing Lion King regained its senses, it directly roared at Ning Tian. However, due to the aftereffects of eating too much, it still belched while roaring. Roar burp? You mean the precept domain? These guys, are they going to the precept domain? After enduring the lion's tone, Ning Tian finally understood what Sha Tian was trying to say. It turned out that after devouring Long Feng and the others, it was able to obtain part of their memories. What it wanted to say was that Long Feng and the others' original purpose was to go to the precept domain. Roar, burp. The flame-sealing Lion King nodded heavily. Precept domain. Precept domain. Someone broke into the precept domain. Long Feng and the others are going to help. Ning Tian rubbed his chin and fell into deep thought. This Long Feng was really courting death. He had to come in out of curiosity after hearing the demon god domain's roar. Great, now he was dead. If you don't court death, you won't die. At this moment, 2 beautiful figures stepped out of the void. That familiar fragrance instantly attracted Ning Tian's attention. He looked over and saw the 2 women walking over. He couldn't help but tease them. Wife, little wife, have you finished cultivating? Before coming to the 10,000 demon shrine, he had dragged the 2 women to do serious cultivation for a long time. He didn't expect them to recover so quickly. Cough. They had finished cultivating. If it were any other time, the 2 women would definitely roll their eyes at him. However, at this moment, the 2 women's faces were incomparably solemn. Both of them frowned slightly. Luo Wuqing looked at Ning Tian. Husband, something happened to Bai Lu? What? Something happened to Bai Lu? Ning Tian's mischievous expression instantly disappeared. Her expression turned grave as she asked, "What's going on?" Senior Nine-Tailed said that her life soul has dissipated. Anyway, let's go back and take a look. Luo Wuqing shook her head slightly. Her cold face was solemn. She pulled Ning Tian's hand and stepped into the void. Okay. Ning Tian nodded with a hint of anxiety in his eyes. Soon, the 3 of them stepped into the void and disappeared in the blink of an eye. They were heading in the direction of Fox God Valley. Something happened to Bai Lu? Nine Phoenix frowned as if he had thought of something. A glint flashed across his eyes. He also stepped into the void and hurriedly followed. Seeing this, the 3 demon gods didn't dare to stay any longer. They pulled the sealing Flame Lion King and followed after. Looking at the ancestral master's solemn expression, something big must have happened. 10,000 demon shrine. The demons were puzzled. What had happened? Fox God Valley. Bai Lu, how are you feeling now? Nine-Tailed Fox frowned as he looked at Bai Lu in front of him with a grave expression. I'm fine. Bai Lu hugged the death bell and shook her head. Although she spoke in this manner, her face was a little pale. Moreover, her spiritual body had become even more illusory and transparent. This was a sign of her soul's energy being drained. You're fine? Your soul is about to dissipate. How can you be fine? At this moment, an annoyed and worried voice sounded from outside the room. Ning Tian walked in with a large group of people. Looking at Bai Lu, who was about to turn transparent, Ning Tian's face turned ugly. Daoist Ning, you're here. Seeing Ning Tian, Bai Lu couldn't help but smile. Then, she hugged the death bell in front of Ning Tian. Look, I can still carry myself. So, I'm fine. Seeing this, Ning Tian just shook his head helplessly. Although Bai Lu said she was fine, he could tell at a glance whether she was fine or not. At this moment, Bai Lu's soul's energy was extremely weak. It was almost transparent. If it was completely transparent, Bai Lu would disappear forever. This was what Ning Tian was most worried about. Senior Nine-Tailed, Bai Lu is. Ning Tian looked at Nine-Tailed Fox. At the same time, he was about to take out something to replenish soul power to feed Bai Lu. It's useless. However, Nine-Tailed Fox interrupted him. She shook her head slightly and said slowly, this is not something that can be solved by replenishing soul power. What Bai Lu lacks is not soul power, but the power of life spirit. The power of life spirit can't make up for it. Nine-Tailed Fox shook her head. The power of life spirit? Hearing this, Ning Tian frowned and looked a little serious. What is the power of life spirit? The power of life spirit is the essence of the soul. Once the power of life spirit completely dissipates, it means that the person will be completely dead, no matter if it's a god, a demon, or a devil. Once the life spirit dissipates, no one can save it. Nine-Tailed Fox explained slowly. But, isn't Bai Lu an artifact spirit? The death bell is still here. How can an artifact spirit dissipate? Ning Tian sounded a little anxious. Bai Lu is not an artifact spirit. However, at this moment, Demon God Nine Phoenix's voice sounded. She looked at Bai Lu and said calmly, Bai Lu is not an artifact spirit. At that time, the strength of a Tao god could not turn Bai Lu into an artifact spirit. He could not deceive that person in the Earth Soul domain. All the souls are under that person's control. A Tao god cannot turn his soul into an artifact spirit. He must have used a secret technique to make Bai Lu stay in the death bell in the form of an artifact spirit. At this point, Demon God Nine Phoenix looked at Ning Tian and said calmly, I think you should have heard the Tao god mention that when he saved Bai Lu was just a mortal and was not strong. Ning Tian nodded slightly as if he thought of something. The stronger the strength, the stronger the life spirit. Although Bai Lu is strong, it is not Bai Lu who is strong but the death bell. The death bell gave Bai Lu a place to stay, and it was not Bai Lu who created the death bell. In other words, Bai Lu's own life spirit is very weak. At this point, Ning Tian's expression was a little ugly. If Bai Lu was an artifact spirit, he would definitely be able to save her. However, if her life spirit dissipated, even if he used the death law card bug, it would be useless. Life spirits belong to the heavenly Tao, and the death law was under the heavenly Tao. It was destined that Bai Lu's life spirit would dissipate sooner or later. It was only a matter of time. Definitely. What can I do? Ning Tian clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. This was the first time he felt like he was about to lose something. Don't worry. Daoist Ning, it's okay. It will be okay, Ovo. Bai Lu hugged the death bell. She was the one who was about to dissipate. However, at this moment, she was playing the role of comfort. It really made one's heart ache. In the room, there was complete silence. Even the Yao gods who had weathered many trials and tribulations had ugly expressions on their faces. Their hearts were filled with panic. Perhaps there is one more way. Just as everyone was silent, a glint flashed across Demon Immortal Jufeng's eyes, and he said slowly, based on my understanding of Tao gods, he must have a trace of Bai Lu's life spirit. He has always left a backup plan when he does things. He must have thought of it too. Therefore, he must have the last trace of life spirit that can turn the tide. The last trace of life spirit. Hearing this, Ning Tian's eyes lit up. This might be the last hope to save Bai Lu. But where is Tao God reincarnation? The wolf blood demon immortal frowned, as if he had thought of the most important point, which was the location of Tao God reincarnation. If they did not know where Tao God reincarnation was, then everything would be in vain. All the demon immortals were silent. The divine realm was so big that finding Tao God reincarnation was undoubtedly like finding a needle in a haystack. Tao domain. He is in the Tao domain. Ning Tian pondered for a moment. As if he had thought of something, a glint flashed across his eyes as he slowly spoke. In the Tao domain? But when Bai Lu and I went to the Tao domain some time ago, we did not find any traces of him. Hearing this, demon immortal Jufeng frowned and could not help but feel puzzled. He was not there some time ago, but it does not mean that he is not there now. Ning Tian shook his head slightly. The source of all the affirmation came from Long Feng's memories. Although Sha Tian had devoured Long Feng and obtained very few memory fragments, it was not difficult to conclude that someone had gone to the Tao domain, and he was going to help some people in the Tao domain to eliminate that person. The Tao domain had already been conquered by the Drought Demon clan. Under such circumstances, there could only be one person who could go to the Tao domain, and that was Tao God reincarnation. Long Feng's death was worth it. Ning Tian heaved a long sigh of relief. His hanging heart could finally relax a little. However, he could not completely relax. Even if he had a trace of life spirit, saving Bai Lu was only theoretical. In that case, there's no time to lose. Let's leave immediately. Su Yueyao's pretty face was full of seriousness as she looked at everyone. Wait. The Demon Divine region is very far from the Tao domain. It will waste a lot of time on the way. With Bai Lu's current state, it will be very difficult to persevere. However, just as everyone was about to leave, the nine-tailed fox's solemn voice sounded from the side. Her pair of fox eyes fell on Bai Lu, and her tone carried a trace of helplessness. Everyone fell silent again as their eyes fell on Bai Lu. Feeling everyone's gaze, Bai Lu hugged the death bell and squeezed out a smile. Everyone, don't worry. I am very strong. Hearing this, everyone's heart was filled with mixed feelings. Bai Lu, this girl, it was too heartbreaking. Strong my ass. My soul is about to scatter. Ning Tian glared at her. You? Watch me take out a small branch and draw a circle to curse you, Taoist Ning. As Bai Lu spoke, she was about to take out the small branch that Ning Tian had given her, but she was interrupted by Ning Tian. Wait, I might know how to help you maintain it. Ning Tian touched his chin as a glint flashed in his eyes. No wonder that old man Taoist would let you stay by my side. It seems that he had already thought of the scene that might happen today. Everyone heard Ning Tian's words and could not help but feel a little puzzled. Ancestral Master, what do you mean? The wolf blood demon god looked at him in confusion. Just watch. After Ning Tian said lightly, he raised his hand and a cloud of black gas condensed in his hand. That was the death chi. Just now, he remembered a sentence that the Death Lord said to Bai Lu in the Black Earth Death Mountain. Only the Black Earth Death Mountain could maintain Bai Lu's current state. In other words, if Bai Lu's life spirit dissipated, the Death Lord could use the death chi to help her maintain her state. Although he could not maintain it all the time, he could still help Bai Lu last for a few days. This might be the reason why Reincarnation Tao God was willing to let Bai Lu follow Ning Tian, because, at this critical moment, only he could help Bai Lu last until the end. In an instant, when the death chi condensed on Bai Lu's body, her soul seemed to be in a better state, but she still could not hold on for long. The death chi can help Bai Lu last for a while, but if it is used repeatedly, the time she can hold on will be greatly reduced. Therefore, we have to head to the precept domain and find Old Man Taoist in this final period of time. Ning Tian let out a long sigh of relief. There was a huge rock in his heart as he looked at everyone present with a serious expression. The demon immortals and the two women nodded. Husband, don't worry. We will not watch Bai Lu dissipate without doing anything. The two women held Ning Tian's hand with a serious look in their beautiful eyes. To them, Bai Lu was already inseparable. They would not watch Bai Lu dissipate without doing anything. Ning Tian nodded and took a deep breath. He looked at the nine-tailed divine fox and said, Senior Nine-Tailed, You stay here and guard the demon divine region. Lang Shui and the rest will go with me. Although the matter was serious, Ning Tian did not lose his mind. There would definitely be a fierce battle in the precept domain. Even if he wanted to take away the combat power of the demon divine region, he could not leave the demon divine region unguarded. Otherwise, he would not even know if his home was stolen. Go ahead. The nine-tailed divine fox nodded slightly. Let's go. The group came out of the room and stepped onto the void ship. They immediately set sail. A burst of void power erupted. The void ship's speed reached the limit and instantly disappeared from the sky. Move. Head to the precept domain to save Bai Lu. Precept domain. It was a mess. Many buildings still had traces of blood from thousands of years ago. On every building, there was a blood-stained character. Around the plain, there was still a lot of residual demonic chi. There were even some blood-stained demonic corpses left on the ground. The blood, there was even a trace of boiling heat. It meant that these demonic clan experts had died not long ago. Whether it was the corpses now or the large pits on the ground, it all indicated that there had been a fierce battle here. But the strange thing was, at this moment, the surroundings were silent. Everything was silent. The silence was frightening. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, above the sky, there was an ear-piercing sound. Immediately after, the sky of the precept domain seemed to have been torn open. The void was directly torn apart. Immediately after, a pitch-black void battleship appeared in this unusual place. Ancestral Master. We have reached the precept domain. A cry of surprise resounded in the surroundings. On the deck of the void ship, the wolf-blooded Yao Celestial looked around with a hint of excitement in his eyes. He had not expected them to reach the precept domain from the Yao Celestial realm in just 3 days. This speed was several times faster than he had imagined. Ning Tian nodded slightly and looked at Bai Lu beside him. Although Bai Lu's body was weak at the moment, she could still hold on to the death bell tightly. However, her soul was becoming more and more transparent, clearly indicating that her current situation was very bad. Along the way, the demon gods had driven the void ship with all their might, which was how they managed to shorten the travel time. After all, to Bai Lu, time was her life. Everyone, thank you. Ning Tian thanked the demon gods. Ancestral Master, you don't have to be so polite. If not for the void ship being adjusted by you, even if we drove it with all our might, we would not have been able to reach it in just 3 days. The demon gods waved their hands slightly, somewhat amazed that their ancestral master had such strength in the art of forging. On the way to the demon god domain, their ancestral master felt that the void ship was too slow, so he directly forged and upgraded the void ship on the spot, which was why they were so fast. You have shocked the 4 demon gods. Reward, time projection skill card, project the battle scenes from a few days ago. It will be invalid after use. At this moment, the system's voice sounded in his mind. Time projection skill card? Ning Tian raised his eyebrows. Husband, let's go look for Tao God reincarnation. One look and I can tell that there was a battle here. Maybe the Tao God is just ahead, Luo Wuqing said aloud. They could not waste time here. As Ms. Luo said, let's go. Demon God Yufeng also said so. No need. Ning Tian waved his hand slightly. Searching blindly is a waste of time. Why don't we project it? It'll be faster. After that, under everyone's puzzled gaze, Ning Tian looked at a large pit left behind by the battle. He tapped it lightly with his hand, then directly used the time projection skill card. Soon, an image appeared in front of everyone. This is... The few demon gods were stunned for a moment. What kind of technique was Ancestral Master using? Just watch. Ning Tian waved his hand slightly and looked over with a solemn gaze. He only wanted to find the whereabouts of Tao God reincarnation through the battle projection. Everyone nodded when they heard those words. Their gazes also turned to look at him. The battle scenes began to be projected. A few days ago, the originally quiet precept domain was completely broken because of the arrival of a purple-haired young man. The purple-haired young man was extremely powerful. The demon clan experts guarding the precept domain were not his match at all. This is Wolf Blood Demon God, and the rest were stunned. This was completely different from the Tao God reincarnation in their impression. This is Tao God reincarnation. After reincarnation, he can naturally become younger. At the side, demon God Jiufeng's body was trembling. Seeing the person she loved again, even if she was a demon god, she could not control her emotions. As old Tao became younger, Ning Tian narrowed his eyes and continued to watch. The battle scenes continued to jump. Tao God reincarnation was almost invincible. He crushed all the demon clan experts guarding the precept domain. These demon corpses and demon blood belonged to those demon clan experts. Until another group of experts appeared in the sky. That Qi Yin. When they saw the powerful demon god that appeared in the scene, Ning Tian and Su Yueyao immediately recognized him. It was indeed that guy, the powerful demon god that was scared away by Ning Tian. Soon, when demon god Qi Yin arrived, Tao God reincarnation had an opponent. The two of them fought fiercely. They shattered mountains and rivers, broke the void, and cracked the earth. Even if the other demon clan experts attacked together, Tao God reincarnation was still in an invincible position. But halfway through the battle, Tao God reincarnation performed buried river mountain and pulled himself, demon god Qi Yin, and a few other strangers into it. Then, they disappeared. The battle scenes disappeared. They disappeared? Where did they go? Ning Tian frowned. When Luo Wuqing and the rest saw this scene, they were puzzled. What did Tao God reincarnation's last move mean? Reincarnation Mountain. Behind them, Bailu's somewhat weak voice sounded. Author's words, a 10,000-word chapter. Fortunately, I did not disappoint you. Chapter 568. Reincarnation Mountain? Hearing Bailu's words, Ning Tian frowned. He looked at Bailu behind him and asked, "Where is Reincarnation Mountain?" "Over there." Bailu held the death bell in one hand and raised her little finger to point at a spot in the precept domain. At this moment, perhaps because her life spirit had dissipated and her soul power had weakened, her little hand had become somewhat transparent. Even pointing at that spot was a little difficult. And at this moment, a cloud of black gas appeared. With the death aura, Bailu's figure stabilized a little. "Thank you, Sister Sacred Lord." Bailu smiled at Su Yueyao. This smile made everyone feel sad. Nine Phoenix Demon God felt somewhat helpless. Among everyone, she could be said to understand Bailu the most. No matter what happened, this girl would always show her most optimistic side. But no one knew the sadness behind it. "Honey, since you know the location of Reincarnation Mountain, let's go quickly." Su Yueyao put away the death law and frowned at Ning Tian. "Okay." Ning Tian nodded heavily. The void ship once again hid in the void and headed toward Reincarnation Mountain in the precept domain. Reincarnation Mountain. Boom. The void ship rushed out of the void. In front of everyone was a peak that reached into the clouds. Surrounded by clouds, the Reincarnation Mountain gave off an extremely strong sense of mystery. Rush in? The wolf blood demon god was about to drive the void ship into the Reincarnation Mountain. Wait, although this is Reincarnation Mountain, Old Man Dao is not here. There are traces of an array here. Ning Tian raised his hand to stop the wolf blood demon god. His eyes narrowed slightly as a dazzling golden light flashed in his eyes. That was the effect of the array's eye. When he came out of the void, he sensed that there was an enormous array power in the Reincarnation Mountain. It is indeed an incomparably huge array. Ning Tian's expression was solemn. Under the gaze of the array's eye, the Reincarnation Mountain was an incomparably huge array. It was an array that enveloped the entire mountain range. This array was extremely dangerous. If they had rashly barged in, they would have wasted a lot of time. The Reincarnation Mountain is a secret realm. As long as we can find the heart of the formation and stop it, we can enter the secret realm of the Reincarnation Mountain. At the side, Bailu's voice sounded. Seeing that Bailu, this girl, was so familiar, the group of people could not help being stunned. Bailu's illusory figure hugged the death bell and floated quietly to the side. Seeing everyone's puzzled look, she could not help but chuckle. Her eyes landed on the Reincarnation Mountain. "Back then, Senior Tao God brought me here, and forged the death bell to save me. Here, this is the place where my soul rose. Bai Lu's words were very quiet. The surrounding people were silent, and their expressions were somewhat solemn. Ning Tian also activated his array formation eye and scanned his surroundings. He didn't want to waste any time. He wanted to find the array core of the Reincarnation Mountain's array formation in the shortest time possible. Found it. In less than 10 seconds, Ning Tian finally found the heart of the Reincarnation Mountain's array as she moved her gaze at high speed. Everyone, activate your demonic chi and spiritual chi and attack that place. Ning Tian pointed to the clouds. That was the highest point of the Reincarnation Mountain. It was infinitely close to the clouds, and his solemn voice sounded in everyone's ears. Yes, Ancestral Master. The several demon gods nodded in unison, and several terrifying demonic chi blasted towards that place. There, it was the array core. Boom, boom. In an instant, when several terrifying energies landed on the array core, the entire Reincarnation Mountain's array formation was strongly affected. A terrifying shockwave spread out from the array core in all directions. Almost at the same time, Ning Tian and the others stood in front of Bai Lu to prevent her from being affected by the power. If it weren't for the fact that Bai Lu was unable to enter the death bell in her current state, Ning Tian would have kept her in his storage ring. Boom. As the array core spread, the power dissipated. In front of everyone's eyes, a door to the secret realm appeared. Seeing this, Ning Tian's eyes flashed. Without any hesitation, he activated the void ship and rushed through the door of the secret realm. The life soul was right in front of him. With the life soul, although it didn't mean that Bai Lu would be fine, at least there was a glimmer of hope. In the secret realm of the Reincarnation Mountain, billowing demonic chi engulfed the entire space. At the same time, the tide-like spiritual chi was not to be outdone. After a fierce battle, the secret realm of the Reincarnation Mountain was already beyond recognition. Jin Yudao, I didn't expect you to dare to return to the precept domain. You're just a stray dog. How dare you be so rash? Fiery red demon god laughed angrily, and the demonic chi in his hand condensed into a 100-meter big demonic fist, and he punched towards Reincarnation Dao God. Dao God Reincarnation didn't say a word. He was expressionless, and his purple eyes flashed with coldness. He raised his hand, and spiritual chi surged. The sun and moon appeared, and he punched towards the fist. Bury the sun and moon. Bury the mountains and rivers. Now, he was going to bury the demon god. The other demon gods also took the opportunity to attack. However, their attacks couldn't do much to Dao God Reincarnation. Dao God Reincarnation and Fiery Red Demon God were both supreme ancient gods, and they were merely 9-star heaven gods. Boom, boom, boom. Two extremely terrifying energies collided, and the power of the collision destroyed Reincarnation Mountain's mystery land again. Damn it! As the two energies collided, the few heavenly god realm demon gods around were sent flying. They crashed heavily into the mountain, and their auras became much weaker. Demon god Qi Yin and Dao god Reincarnation were also sent flying several hundred meters away. Jin Yudao is indeed the #1 genius in the precept domain. In just a few reincarnations, he has such power. No, we can't let him go today, in case anything happens. There was a flash of ferocious light in Demon God Scarlet Flame's eyes. Since Reincarnation Dao God rushed into the precept region, most of the demon army that he led died. They couldn't withstand Reincarnation Dao God's revenge at all. Boom. Humph. You're just a bunch of demon clan. Today, I'll kill you with my own hands to appease the dead souls of Taoism. Dao God Reincarnation snorted, and his purple eyes were filled with murderous intent. Dead souls? Ha ha ha. Who told you that all of your Taoism's people are dead? Fiery Red Demon God laughed maniacally, and his black eyes flashed with a mocking black flame. Huh. My Taoism's people are still alive? Hearing that, Reincarnation Dao God's eyes flashed with a glint. There was obviously a slight fluctuation in his mental state. His pair of cold eyes landed on Demon God Scarlet Flame as he asked coldly, "Where are they?" Hee hee. Well, You'll understand after I kill them. Fiery red demon god laughed angrily, and the surrounding demon gods surrounded him again. The demon chi in their bodies began to recover, and their injuries healed. Heh. Jin Yudao, you dragged us into the reincarnation mystery land to prevent us from absorbing the demon chi from the outside world. Even so, do you really think you can succeed? We've controlled the precept domain for so many years, and every inch of land has been contaminated by the demon chi. Even in the reincarnation mystery land, we can absorb it. As long as there's demon chi, we can exhaust you to death. What a joke. Fiery red demon god sneered, and demon chi surged out of the reincarnation mystery land. Hearing that, Dao God Reincarnation's expression changed, and his eyes turned solemn. His original plan was to drag the demon gods into the reincarnation mystery land and isolate them from the demon chi from the outside world. If he didn't isolate the demon chi, the demon god's demon chi would be inexhaustible. Only then would he have a chance of winning. However, there was one thing he didn't expect. The precept domain had been controlled by the demon race for so many years, and every inch of land had been contaminated by the demon chi, so his plan was basically half ruined. Now, you don't have much spiritual chi left, and you're at the end of your rope. Fiery red demon god sneered, and he was ready to join forces with the other demon gods to deal the final blow to Dao God Reincarnation. Let the victory be decided in this moment. Demon chi surged instantly. A few demon gods charged toward Dao God Reincarnation with murderous intent. Duanmu, demon god. Seeing that, Dao God Reincarnation took a deep breath, and his purple eyes flashed with determination. The remaining spiritual chi in his body surged out, forming a powerful force behind his back. He had been killing in the precept domain for too long. He killed until his spiritual chi was exhausted. He killed until all the demon gods were dead. Now, he was going to fight to the death. You can't perform this move. Your spiritual chi is far from enough. Fiery red demon god's eyes turned solemn, but he didn't panic at all. He sneered and exposed Dao God Reincarnation's move. Dao God Reincarnation frowned, but that was the only choice he had. I heard that someone is lacking spiritual chi? At that moment, a hearty voice seemed to be heard in the sky. Then, a vigorous spiritual chi appeared above Dao God Reincarnation's head, and it rushed into his body. His aura began to recover, and the power of Duanmu God reached its peak. What? Where did the spiritual chi come from? Seeing this sudden scene, Fiend Celestial Scarlet Flame was stunned, and a trace of doubt flashed through his eyes. Old Dao, hurry up and kill this guy. Don't waste my small spiritual chi. The void cracked, and then a black battleship rushed into the reincarnation's secret land from the void. Demonic chi? Could it be Long Feng? No, it's the guy from the demon god domain. Fiery red demon god immediately looked over when he felt the void battleship's aura, but he soon frowned. It wasn't Long Feng. Damn it, Long Feng, that bastard. Where the hell did he go? He gritted his teeth and cursed in his heart. Brother Ning? And Jufeng? Dao God Reincarnation was surprised to see them. He didn't expect Ning Tian and the others to come here and bring his old lover. Something happened to Bai Lu. Ning Tian didn't say anything. Dao God Reincarnation's expression changed, and he immediately looked over. As expected, he saw Bai Lu's soul body was infinitely close to becoming transparent. If she wasn't holding the death bell, it would be difficult for them to see where she was. If Bai Lu was completely transparent, then she might. In the end, it still came to this. Dao God Reincarnation felt bitter. Back then in that little village, when he saw Bai Lu who was about to die, he, who should have ignored all of this, saw a trace of desire for life in the little girl's eyes. This girl was clearly just a mortal, but she erupted with a desire for life that even godly realm experts did not have. At that time, he wavered. So, he made a move. He used the ancient method to seal Bai Lu's life spirit and put her soul body in the death bell. That was how Bai Lu became today. However, ever since he used the ancient method, Bai Lu's ending was already decided. Senior Dao God, don't worry about me. I'm fine. Bai Lu hugged the death bell and squeezed out a smile at Tao God reincarnation, indicating that he didn't need to worry too much. Hearing that, Tao God reincarnation's expression became more complicated. Ning Tian, it's true that Bai Lu still has the last bit of life spirit's power, but now is not the time for you. Speaking of this, Tao God reincarnation glanced at the few demon gods not far away. And, even with the power of life spirit, it might not necessarily. There will be a chance. Before Tao God reincarnation could finish, he was interrupted by Ning Tian. As long as Bai Lu's life spirit is there, there is still a chance. Ning Tian looked serious. He looked at Tao God reincarnation, and his words were filled with unshakable determination. Sigh. Tao God reincarnation sighed. Actually, he knew that even if he had the power of his life spirit, he would not be able to reverse the situation. Bai Lu was already dead. He had only used an ancient method to forcefully delay Bai Lu's death by several hundred years. But what would come would come. It was an unchangeable fact. Bai Lu knew that too. However, the reason why she looked fine was because she did not want everyone to worry. She had already lost the person who once worried about her. She did not want to repeat the same mistake. Bai Lu can still hold on for a few more days. Let's kill these demons first, Ning Tian said faintly. At that moment, Bai Lu's last trace of life spirit was in the hands of Tao God reincarnation. Obviously, this was not the place to replenish Bai Lu's life spirit. They had to be fully prepared before they could take action. Kill us? Kid, do you think you're worthy? Hearing Ning Tian's words, Demon God Red Flame could not help but sneer. Oh, is that so? Ning Tian seemed to sneer. Then, he turned around and raised his face. He looked at Demon God Red Flame indifferently. You, a demon god who was scared away by me, dare to disrespect me? You want to scare me away? You're the human almighty from a few years ago? Demon God Red Flame laughed in disdain. However, when he saw Ning Tian's face clearly, the terrifying memory in his mind suddenly appeared. Ning Tian's face kept overlapping with the expert from that day. After seeing Su Yueyao, Demon God Red Flame was even more certain. The young man in front of him. He was the human almighty who frightened him in the void a few years ago. Grandmaster scared Demon God Red Flame away? Demon God Red Flame is a supreme ancient god. Damn, that's very Grandmaster. The four demon gods could not help but be startled when they heard the fiery scarlet demon god's words and saw the fear in his eyes. Their gazes towards Ning Tian were immediately filled with even greater respect. You shocked Demon God Red Flame. You shocked the four demon gods. You shocked Tao God reincarnation. Reward, Bai Lu's soul survival period is increased by 1 week. At that moment, the system's voice sounded in his mind. Soul survival period is increased by 1 week? Hearing that, Ning Tian couldn't help but feel happy. He took a deep breath and said to himself, System, thank you. Now, do you think I can still kill you? Ning Tian looked at Demon God Red Flame indifferently. Demon God Red Flame's face changed, and he lost his composure. He still couldn't see through Ning Tian's power. The human almighty's power must have broken through. The stronger he was, the more he couldn't see through Ning Tian's power. This made him even more certain that Ning Tian's strength was beyond his reach. Old Taoist, take this opportunity to attack. At that moment, while Demon God Red Flame was in a daze, Ning Tian quickly sent a message to Tao God reincarnation. Demon God Red Flame was distracted. If he didn't take this opportunity to kill him, when would he? I'll kill you when you're sick. Tao God reincarnation was stunned for a moment when he heard that. Then, he seized the opportunity and the power of broken burial surged out from his body. He raised his palm and blasted at Demon God Red Flame. Demon God Broken Burial. At the same time, the four demon gods moved and charged at the remaining few demon gods. Boom. In an instant, Demon God Red Flame and the other demon gods were caught off guard. That's all for today's update. I'll continue with 10,000 words tomorrow. I'm exhausted. Damn, I'm not in the right state. Next is an exciting and high-energy plot. I won't be able to write well in this state. Chapter 569. In Reincarnation Mystery Land. The battle was ignited almost instantly. Reincarnation Tao God's aura continued to soar. With the support of Ning Tian's Spirit Sea, he could perform the broken burial technique without restraint and suppress Demon God Red Flame. Anyway, he wasn't using his spiritual energy. Hence, Reincarnation Tao God was fearless. This kid's spiritual energy is so strong. Reincarnation Tao God couldn't help but think to himself. Then, the technique in his hands blasted towards the scarlet flame demon celestial without any spiritual energy. Looking at old Tao, Ning Tian's lips twitched. If it wasn't for his huge spiritual sea, he would have been drained by old Tao sooner or later. Hong hong hong. One palm, one punch, they were all extermination. Demon God Red Flame could only defend passively, and he didn't dare to use his full strength to fight back. Because he could feel Ning Tian's gaze on him. Every time he turned his head, he could see Ning Tian looking at him with a smile. It made him feel endless pressure. An Almighty was watching from the side, and he didn't dare to ignore it. God knows when Ning Tian would suddenly attack him. Damn it! Demon God Red Flame cursed in his heart. He had never felt so aggrieved. He was afraid that Ning Tian would suddenly attack him when he was blocking Reincarnation Tao God's attack with his full strength. At that time, he would definitely die. He could block Reincarnation Tao God's attack, but because of Ning Tian's existence, he didn't dare to go all out. He could only take the damage from Reincarnation Tao God's attack. He felt extremely aggrieved. Damn it! Damn it! Only those few beautiful words could relieve his aggrieved heart. However, what he faced was Reincarnation Tao God's endless attacks. At that moment, Reincarnation Tao God was going all out. With Ning Tian's vigorous spiritual energy, he could be fearless. Hong, hong hong. There was an explosion in the battle. On the other hand, the rest of the demon gods were in a one-sided situation in the hands of the 4 demon gods. Although the few demon gods were 9-star heaven gods, they were weaker than the 4 demon gods even when they were in their prime, let alone when they were injured by Reincarnation Tao God. Bury the mountains and rivers, bury the sun and moon. Today, we shall bury the gods and demons. Tao God Reincarnation sent Fiend Celestial Scarlet Flame flying with a punch. Then, spiritual energy surged in his hand, and he smashed it toward Fiend Celestial Scarlet Flame. Damn it! Why is Genudeo's King spiritual chi endless? The fiery red devil god cursed angrily. He looked at the enormous energy that Reincarnation Tao God threw over with a serious look. If he didn't use his full strength for this move, he would be seriously injured. However, just as he was about to block the attack, he suddenly heard a voice from the side. Wife, take care of Bai Lu. Wait for me to give this guy a punch. Huh. As soon as he said this, Fiend Celestial Red Flame was so scared that he quivered and immediately withdrew more than half of the Fiend Celestial Red Flames, Fiend Celestial Red Flames, Fiend Celestial Red Flames, Fiend Celestial Red Flame. Between instant death and serious injury, the Scarlet Flame Demon God wisely chose the latter. Demon King Shield. The fiery red devil god bellowed in his heart. Then, demonic energy surged out from his body and formed an extremely sturdy shield. However, he should only be facing Tao God Reincarnation alone. But then, he had to be wary of Ning Tian from time to time. There was an instant. Tao God Reincarnation's attack appeared in front of him, and the fiery red devil god wanted to block it. But suddenly, he felt a chill on his back, and he saw a figure that appeared behind him. There was a chill on the fist in his hand, and an infinite fist power seemed to appear. It was the 1-minute rule of ice. The next moment, it was also coming for him. F***CK. I knew it. This guy is definitely going to launch a sneak attack. Luckily, I was smart enough to have a backup plan. Otherwise, I would really die in your hands. The fiery red devil god cursed. Then, he took a deep breath and all the demonic energy in his body burst out. Boom boom. Almost at that moment, Ning Tian and Tao God Reincarnation's attack arrived at the same time. The fiery red devil god felt endless pressure. He clenched his teeth and the demonic energy on his demonic body was affected strongly. However, he didn't dare to let his guard down. Almost half of his power was facing Ning Tian. Facing Tao God reincarnation, it was only a small part of his demonic energy. The fiery red devil god had always been smart. In front of death and serious injury, he chose to be seriously injured. To a demon god like him, as long as he wasn't killed in one move, there was definitely a chance. Boom, boom. Duan Mu, divine demon, Tao God reincarnation bellowed. There was a flash of light in his purple eyes, and he pressed his big hand against the fiery red devil god. Boom! At the same time, Ning Tian's punch landed on the fiery red devil god's demonic body. The punch landed. He lost a little demonic energy. At that moment, the fiery red devil god was stunned. He originally thought that he had blocked the attack of the human almighty and felt lucky. However, he soon realized that something was wrong. That punch, it couldn't hurt him at all. No. The fiery red devil god opened his eyes wide and reacted. The human almighty's power and his attack were completely different. Then, he suddenly raised his head. He saw that Ning Tian in front of him had a kind smile on his face, and his body disappeared in an instant. It was a doppelganger. F***CK. I've been fooled. The fiery red devil god suddenly realized. However, it was too late for him to mobilize the demonic energy in his body. Tao God Reincarnation's Duan Mu power had already landed on him. Turn into a demon. I want you demons to die. Tao God Reincarnation's eyes were cold, and he pressed his big hand down heavily. Boom. The extremely terrifying power had already landed on the fiery red devil god. Hiss, hiss. The tearing sound kept erupting from the fiery red devil god's body. His demonic energy was being dissolved at that moment, and his aura was getting weaker and weaker. What is this? My demonic energy. Oh. At that moment, the fiery red devil god's eyes finally flashed with deep fear. Under Tao God Reincarnation's move, he felt endless death aura, and the aura was disintegrating his demonic body continuously. I've gone through a few reincarnations and finally figured out the way to exterminate your demon race. Red Devil God, you'll be the first to pay for the debt of Precept Domain. Tao God Reincarnation's eyes were cold, and his words fell on the fiery red devil god. Instantly, the fiery red devil god was filled with despair. Originally, this move, he could block it, but damn it. Poof. The fiery red devil god was pressed onto the ground, and his aura was getting weaker and weaker. The move that Tao God Reincarnation had performed had completely restricted his demonic body's undying power. He couldn't recover at all. Old Tao, you want me to deal the final blow? Ning Tian looked over and fixed his gaze on Tao God Reincarnation. He wanted to invite the fiery red devil god to be a guest in Buddha Demon Tower. Sure. Then, Ning Tian, you'll do it. Tao God Reincarnation pondered for a while and thought that Ning Tian must have something to do. Hence, he nodded and agreed. All right. Ning Tian replied and asked the two ladies to take care of Bai Lu. Then, he moved to the front of the fiery red devil god who was on the verge of death. He looked at him indifferently, and the corner of his mouth lifted into a friendly smile. You. Cough cough. Who exactly are you? Looking at the smiling Ning Tian in front of him, the expression in Tao God Reincarnation's eyes kept changing. When he had just received the punch from Ning Tian's clone, he started to suspect if the guy in front of him was a human almighty. Me? Ning Tian smiled and whispered into his ear. Every word that he said hit him in the heart. I'm just an ancestor god. Oh yeah, when I met you in the void, I wasn't even a great emperor. In other words, you didn't take any action. It's you who made me who I am. I really have to thank you. What? Fiery red devil god was stunned. Then, as though he had put on a mask of pain, his expression turned hideous as though he had gone mad. Not a great emperor. Not an ancestor god. Yet, he managed to scare me to this extent. How is this possible? How is this possible? The scarlet flame demon god's heart seemed to have gone mad. He kept muttering, and his demonic eyes were filled with streaks of blood. The demonic aura on his body became complicated. He gritted his teeth so hard that they creaked. No matter how much he didn't want to believe it, Ning Tian had already told him the truth. That was the punch just now. It was indeed the strength of an ancestor god. In other words, the clan leader of the Drought Demon clan, Fiery Red Devil God, a member of the ancient god Cloud Map Heaven and Earth collection, was actually scared to this extent by an ancestor god? Ha ha ha. What a joke, what a joke. Black blood flowed out from the corner of Fiery Red Devil God's mouth, and he laughed at himself. Huh. Not far away. Reincarnation Tao God frowned slightly and muttered to himself. What did Brother Ning say to Fiery Red Devil God? This Fiery Red Devil God actually gave out Fiery Red Devil Heartblood. Are you done laughing? If you're done laughing, enter the tower. As soon as Ning Tian's voice fell, a murderous intent flashed across his eyes. Then, a black tower appeared in his palm. What? The Buddha Demon Tower is actually in your hands. At this moment, Fiery Red Devil God's expression changed drastically and his eyes were filled with horror. At this moment, his heart trembled violently. He, a Fiery Red Devil God, was actually fooled by a human kid who was like an ant in his eyes. In fact, even the most important Buddha Demon Tower was in this kid's hands. Of course, enter the tower and turn into nourishment for the demonic tower. Ning Tian sneered. The demonic pagoda in her hand trembled, and a torrent of black gas flowed out, enveloping the scarlet-flamed demon god in an instant. His body seemed to be disintegrating, and his eyes were filled with terror. No, 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 no. Fiery Red Devil God screamed in despair. He knew how terrifying the Buddha Demon Tower was. Once he entered it, even a Fiery Red Devil God would be filled with fear. However, no one could hear his screams. The demonic tower shook and the Fiery Red Devil God was kept. You've shocked Fiery Red Devil God. Reward, Divine Demon Body Fusion Skill Card, Enhanced Version. 1 use, effective for 7 days. The second level of the Buddha Demon Tower has been unlocked. At this moment, the system's voice rang in his head. Enhanced Divine Demon Body Fusion. The second level has been unlocked too? Ning Tian murmured when he heard the system's words. A glint of light flashed through his eyes. However, he didn't have the time to explore the second floor of the Buddha's Demon Tower. He had more pressing matters to attend to. Bang! Bang! At this moment, seeing that Fiery Red Devil God was destroyed, the few Fiery Red Devil Gods who were fighting with the 4 great demon gods revealed their flaws, and the 4 great demon gods found an opportunity to severely injure them. Boom! There were cracks on the ground. Facing a few Fiery Red Devil Gods who were severely injured, Ning Tian did not waste any time. He activated the Buddha Demon Tower and absorbed the Fiery Red Devil Gods into the Buddha Demon Tower, turning them into nutrients for the Demon Tower. This Demon Tower, looking at this scene, Reincarnation Tao God could not help but cast a puzzled look but did not say anything in the end. The great battle, it seemed to have finally stopped. Wife, how is Bai Lu? Ning Tian kept the Buddha Demon Tower and returned to the few women in a flash. At the same time, Reincarnation Tao God and the few great demon gods rushed over. During the battle, the 2 women had been looking after Bai Lu. I'm fine. Feeling the pair of worried eyes, Bai Lu hugged Deathbell and forced a smile on her pale face. She smiled at everyone. Don't worry about me. The situation is not good. Even if you keep using the law of death to transfer the death aura, Bai Lu's soul will still find it difficult to maintain. Sui Weiyao shook her head slightly. Her face was solemn and bean-sized beads of sweat dripped down her forehead. Using the law of death continuously was also a huge consumption for her. I got it. Ning Tian nodded with a solemn expression. Looking at Bai Lu, who was about to dissipate at any time, he frowned. He knew very well that Bai Lu had at least 7 days. As long as he could find a solution within these 7 days, everything was fine. Although there is Bai Lu's last trace of life spirit, the demonic aura here is too strong. It's not suitable to use the ancient method. At this moment, Reincarnation Tao God frowned and said. However, he sighed in his heart. Bai Lu, what I told you before might have arrived. He looked at Bai Lu and said slowly, I know, Senior Dao God. Bai Lu hugged Death Bell with a calm expression and a faint smile. She seemed very quiet. Seeing this, everyone was silent with complicated feelings. If this place is not suitable, then change a place. If you must die, then go against the heavens and change your fate. Just as everyone was silent, Ning Tian's voice sounded from the side. His expression was calm, but his words were firm. Let's go. Let's leave this place first. Ning Tian did not say much. If he gave in to the heavens, then he would not be Ning Tian. Everyone nodded. Boom, boom, boom. However, at this moment, just as everyone was about to leave the reincarnation secret land, they heard a violent roar. Immediately after, the entire reincarnation secret land shook violently. As the earth shook, it was as if there was an endless force from the outside world that held the entire reincarnation secret land and wanted to trap them in the secret land. Roar! Sealing Flame Lion King roared in shock. This is the power of the void. Someone is using the power of the void to hold the entire reincarnation secret land. Feeling the suppressive force, Wolf Blood Demon God's expression changed. A solemn look flashed across his eyes as he blurted out involuntarily. Is he trying to strangle us in the void? Ridiculous. Ning Tian raised his eyebrows slightly and then looked at Sealing Flame Lion King. Sha Tian, grow bigger and burst the reincarnation secret land. I would like to see if he will burst the secret land first, or if we will leave first. Roar, roar. Hearing Ning Tian's words, Sealing Flame Lion King roared in a low voice. Then, the Taoye's aura surged on Sealing Flame Lion King's body. The enormous aura continued to emerge. Under everyone's gaze, Sealing Flame Lion King started to grow from a small mascot. Boom! In the blink of an eye, Sealing Flame Lion King's body was as tall as the sky. The entire reincarnation secret land trembled under its enormous body, and the void trembled majestically. Sha Tian, break! Ning Tian roared. At the same time, Reincarnation Dao God released a protective force to envelop everyone. Roar! Along with the explosive lion roar, the already shattered reincarnation secret land started to tremble continuously. Trying to trap us? Ridiculous. Let's go. Let's get on the void ship and charge out of the reincarnation secret land. Ning Tian said nonchalantly. The group stepped onto the void ship. Under the lion's roar, the power of the void shattered. A pitch-black hole appeared. Crack, crack, crack. Reincarnation Secret Land was originally a self-contained region that was built in the void. Then, due to the mysterious external force and Sealing Flame Lion King's enormous body, it exploded. The sound of cracking could be heard continuously. In the outside world, Precept region, a black battleship rushed out from the void and the enormous creature followed closely behind. Finally out, Su Yueyao let out a sigh of relief. She was worried that the power of the void would affect Bai Lu. Husband, look around. At this moment, Luo Wuqing's cold voice was heard. Her beautiful eyes were filled with solemnity as she looked around. Huh. Hearing Luo Wuqing's words, Ning Tian raised his eyebrows. The few demon gods and reincarnation Dao God also looked around. The moment they looked over, their pupils contracted. They saw, around them, there was darkness. It was like a dark fog that darkened heaven and earth. In the dark fog, they could vaguely see countless pairs of red eyes. They were all from the demon clan. They were surrounded by countless demon clan members. They are from the demon clan. Many of them have destroyed my precept domain and massacred my Taoist sect. Dao God Reincarnation recognized the origin of these demon clan members at a glance. A glint of hatred flashed across his purple eyes. Demon clan. It seems that if we don't kill these demon clan members, they won't let us leave in one piece. Ning Tian murmured and glanced at Bai Lu. This lady was almost transparent. However, with the system's reward, she could maintain this form for 7 days. There was still a chance. We can only fight. The 4 demon gods nodded heavily. Surround the void battleship. Don't let the demon clan members get close to Bai Lu. At this moment, Ning Tian gave them an order. Yes, ancestral master. The four demon gods nodded. Demon chi emerged from their bodies, and the demon spirits behind them quietly appeared. It seems that Qi Yin is dead. What a pity. He didn't kill all of you in the secret realm. At this moment, a sigh was heard from somewhere in the sky. A figure in a blood-red robe with red hair covering his face appeared. He was surrounded by blood-red demon chi, giving people a feeling of madness. From his words, it was clear that he was the one who had used the power of the void to kill everyone in the secret realm. The demon clan's madman, blood demon master, Tao God Reincarnation's eyes turned solemn when he saw the red-haired demon clan member. The demon clan's madman? Hearing this, Ning Tian raised his eyebrows. He was a little confused. This demon clan member, blood demon master, although he is not the strongest expert in the demon clan, he is the craziest demon. He even wanted to massacre the entire Zhongzhou region. Fortunately, he was stopped by all the experts. That's why he didn't succeed. Tao God Reincarnation said slowly, "Massacre the entire Zhongzhou region?" Hearing this, Ning Tian was startled. Her gaze fell on the Crimson Spectre. This blood demon was truly crazy. It had to be known that the Central Province region had many influences. It could be said to be the region with the most races in the realm of the gods. However, Blood Demon Master even wanted to destroy such a big region. However, I don't care if he is the demon clan's madman. If he doesn't know his place, I don't mind helping the demon clan to get rid of this madman who will bring disaster sooner or later. Ning Tian looked at Blood Demon Master indifferently. At the same time, Blood Demon Master looked over. Interesting. I haven't massacred humans for a long time. This time, I will kill both humans and demons to my heart's content. Ha ha ha. The blood demon's blood-red eyes flashed with a touch of madness, and several figures with dense demonic chi appeared behind him with a whoosh. They were demon gods. Boom. Ha ha ha. Kill them all. Blood Demon Master laughed. Then, he turned into a blood-red shadow and landed on the void ship. The blood-red demon chi in his hand blasted toward the void ship. Boom. Boom. Almost at the same time, Reincarnation Tao God also blasted his palm out. Bang! That huge aura immediately caused the void ship to tremble violently. Old Tao, I will leave Blood Demon Master to you. Ning Tian moved his spiritual chi and stabilized the void ship that was affected. Then, he said to Reincarnation Tao God with a solemn expression, "Leave it to me." Reincarnation Tao God nodded. Then, he moved and charged toward Blood Demon Master. The battle between the two supreme ancient gods unfolded in the sky. Reincarnation Tao God knew that he could not be affected. Hence, he purposely pulled Blood Demon Master further away to prevent the people on the void ship from being affected by the battle. It was also at this moment that the four beast gods stopped the demon gods. What was left for Ning Tian and the others was the endless demon clan army. There were many experts among them. Wife, the two of you protect Bai Lu well. Leave the demon clan army to me and Sha Tian. Ning Tian's gaze was solemn. Although the few experts of the demon clan were not here, the demon clan army had the advantage in terms of numbers. Sha Tian, I allow you to devour the demon clan, but don't force yourself. Roar. Flame-sealing Lion King roared loudly when it heard this, and then flames appeared on its enormous body. It lifted its enormous body and stomped down on the devil army. In its eyes, these devils were as tiny as ants. At the same time, the Demon King appeared behind Ning Tian. It followed Ning Tian and charged toward the group of Demon Clan. The sound of fighting, it kept ringing in the surroundings. The Precept Domain, which was already in a mess, was even more vulnerable under the impact of the fighting. As the earth shook, it was as though the entire Precept Domain was about to be penetrated. Boom! Ning Tian turned into a ghost and flashed among the Demon Clan army. Wherever he went, there were Demon Clan experts who fell. The Demon King and the Flame-Sealing Lion King were also fighting. Very soon, the Demon Clan army in the Black Fog was reduced by a large amount. But Ning Tian discovered a problem. The Demon Clan seemed to be controlled by something. Even when facing the powerful Demon Clan army, The demon clan army still did not retreat. It was as though in their eyes, there was only endless killing. All of this must be related to the blood demon. What is this lunatic trying to do? Ning Tian glanced at the sky. The two supreme ancient gods were fighting fiercely. Forget it. Now, let's deal with the demon clan army first. We can't let them get close to the void ship. A cold light flashed in Ning Tian's eyes. He moved and led the two huge creatures toward the demon clan army. A man, a demon king, and a demon beast faced hundreds of thousands of demon clan army without any change in expression. In fact, it was still a one-sided battle. The demon clan army was being slaughtered at a rate visible to the naked eye. When the flame-sealing Lion King opened its mouth, thousands of demon clan army were killed. On the void ship, Luo Wuqing and Su Yueyao were also protecting Bai Lu. In the sky, boom, 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 there was a series of explosions. The remaining energy seemed to be able to break the void. Ha ha ha, you are indeed Tao God reincarnation. You are indeed powerful. Not bad. I wonder how much of your strength you can unleash if I refine you into a puppet? The Blood Demon King retreated quickly after taking the punch from Tao God reincarnation. His crimson eyes fell on the Tao God, and his eyes were full of ridicule. Ridiculous! Tao God reincarnation sneered. The demon god power of broken burial appeared in his hand again. Ha ha ha! Don't be in a hurry to fight. I have a gift for you. The Blood Demon King laughed, and a crazy look flashed in his eyes. Tao God reincarnation frowned and had a bad feeling. Come, come, come. I will let you have a good look. The masterpiece that I am most proud of. Open your eyes and take a good look. Ha ha. The Blood Demon King laughed wildly, and his hand shook the ground of the precept domain. Boom. In an instant, the terrifying shock wave erupted from the ground and swept across the entire precept domain. Get out of the way. Ning Tian roared and moved. At the same time, he took the void ship and dodged the terrifying shock wave. Under this attack, the demon army suffered even more casualties. However, the Blood Demon King did not care. His crimson eyes were full of madness. He stared at the ground and kept laughing strangely. Boom, boom, boom on the ground. Black fog rose. It was demonic aura. Terrifying demonic aura. Under the corrosion of the demonic aura, the ground of the precept domain began to crack. Then, more and more black fog emerged from the cracks, giving everyone a strong sense of oppression. What is that? Demonic fog? The wolf blood demon god's face changed slightly, and a solemn look flashed in his eyes. No. There seems to be something crawling out from the ground in the black fog. The immortal dragon god seemed to have discovered something. He looked toward the black fog and his pupils suddenly shrank. As soon as he said that, everyone's eyes immediately looked in that direction. In the black fog, the soil broke open. Pairs of giant skeletal hands tore the soil apart and stretched out from the ground. They were skeletal monsters. Their skeletal eyes were hollow, however. In their chests, there was a beating heart. What is that? Is it the skeleton demon clan of the demon clan? But it doesn't look like it. The Golden Wings demon god looked over, but could not figure it out. He felt that it looked familiar, but it was not the skeleton demon clan. The reincarnation Tao god was silent for a moment. He frowned and looked coldly at the Blood Demon King. Blood Demon King, do you think that you can stop me by bringing some skeletons? Is that so? The Blood Demon King looked at the reincarnation Tao god with a hideous smile. If they are ordinary skeletons, they definitely can't stop you. But what if I say that these skeletons are from the Jin family of the Tao domain? Ha ha ha. What? Hearing that, everyone's faces changed drastically. These are the demonic skeletons that were refined using this demon god's blood magic. The process of refining them was simply a pleasure. I drained their blood and cut off their skin inch by inch. TSK, TSK. Do you want to hear the cries and screams? Ha ha ha. The Blood Demon King laughed hideously. His expression became crazier and crazier. Then, he snapped his fingers. Tens of thousands of skeletons crawled out from the ground of the Tao domain. Along with a gust of chilly wind, there were screams. Woo-woo, woo-woo, woo-woo. The chilly wind blew. There was a chill in the wind and a sorrowful cry. Haha, did you hear that? Those desperate screams, sorrowful cries, and angry roars. Did you hear that? Those are the despair of the Jin family of the Dao domain. What a beautiful and pleasant sound. Hearing the sorrowful cries, everyone's heart sank. However, the Blood Demon King laughed arrogantly. To him, this was a form of pleasure, a pleasure built on torturing others. You are courting death. Dao God Reincarnation's eyes were red. As his spiritual energy exploded, his aura skyrocketed. His robe fluttered in the wind as he glared at the Blood Demon King. Haha, Dao God. Oh Dao God, I forgot to tell you. These Jin family of the Dao domain are not completely dead. Their souls have just been suppressed. Their souls are in their hearts. Let's see how you're going to save them. Ha ha ha. The Blood Demon King laughed hideously. Compared to killing these people directly, what he wanted to see was the despair of these people being tortured. That was why. He was also known as the Demon Realm's madman. Hearing the Blood Demon King's words, the reincarnation Dao God's expression suddenly changed. A glint flashed across his eyes. He looked at the skeleton demon bodies in the black gas below. With a slight movement of his divine consciousness, he sensed the reason. They're really still alive. The reincarnation Dao God's breathing suddenly became hot. Why did he reincarnate for 1,000,000 years? To revive the Jin family of the Dao domain, to take revenge. But what about after taking revenge? It would only be emptiness. The dead would not come back after all. But now, he could save the people he wanted to save with his own hands. Haha, Dao God, I didn't lie to you, did I? The Blood Demon King laughed hideously. Of course, he did not lie to the reincarnation Dao God. Instead, he wanted the reincarnation Dao God to save the Jin family of the Dao domain because saving people came at a terrible price. He liked to see these people in despair when they were making a choice. The reincarnation Dao God fell into silence. He recalled that millions of years ago, when the demon race invaded, the Dao domain did not have the strength to resist. All the Jin family of the Dao domain fought a bloody path for him. In the end, he was the only one in the entire Dao domain who survived. But it was just an ignoble existence. He reincarnated for millions of years just for revenge. Old Dao, Ning Tian exploded a demon race with a punch. He looked at the reincarnation Dao God in the sky with a complicated expression. This was a choice. He had to admit that the Blood Demon King was very good at playing with people's hearts. Phew! The reincarnation Dao God let out a long sigh of relief. Then, his gaze turned solemn. He seemed to have made up his mind. He wanted to save those who had saved him. That was his original intention of reincarnation. Boom, boom. In an instant, a huge aura erupted from the reincarnation Dao God. Then, his purple hair started to turn white. His youthful appearance started to turn old. Oh, burning your life to save these useless people? Ha ha ha. The Blood Demon King could not help but laugh hideously when he saw that. Burn my life to save my clan. The reincarnation Dao God let out a low roar. His body started to age and a bloody mist appeared on his body. However, he did not care. He needed to inject life force into these demon race bodies to awaken their souls. Boom. A powerful aura soared into the sky. In an instant, the black mist dispersed. Countless demon race souls appeared in the black mist. They were the souls of the Jin family in the Dao domain. Then, a black magic array appeared on the ground and emitted a terrifying soul power. When the magic array appeared, all the souls were connected together. Ah! A pained cry came from the void ship. Oh no! Ning Tian's expression changed. He seemed to have thought of something. He moved and rushed to the void ship. As expected, he saw Bai Lu's face was filled with pain. Her soul was even more transparent. Old Dao, this magic array is affecting Bai Lu. If this goes on, Bai Lu will be gone. Ning Tian placed Bai Lu in his arms. The death aura appeared on his hand, and continuously transferred energy to Bai Lu. At the same time, he shouted at the reincarnation Dao God. What? Hearing that, the reincarnation Dao God's expression changed and he wanted to stop. However, at that moment, the blood demon laughed again. He. I didn't expect things to become so interesting. Dao God, think carefully. This magic array is called the Blood Soul Magic Array. Once it's activated, it can't be stopped. If it stops, it means that these tens of thousands of souls will be destroyed. Do you want 1 soul or 10,000 souls? It's up to you. Hearing that, the reincarnation Dao God's face turned pale and he spat out a mouthful of blood. How should he choose? One was from the Dao domain, while the other was like his own daughter, who had accompanied him for hundreds of years. How should he choose? Blood demon, I want you dead. I want you dead. The reincarnation Dao God's eyes were bleeding. He gritted his teeth and glared at the blood demon. Ha 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 ha. Dao God, how should you choose? Millions of years ago, I thought of this. I didn't expect things to go beyond my imagination. Interesting, very interesting. Master Blood Demon grinned evilly. You. The reincarnation Dao God trembled. Damn it. On the void ship, Ning Tian cursed. He didn't have the right to order the reincarnation Dao God to choose. Both Bai Lu and the Jin family were the most important things to the reincarnation Dao God. The one who was in the most pain wasn't him but old Dao. Bai Lu, you'll be fine. I have the death aura and the law of ice. I can replenish your soul power. Ning Tian took a deep breath and tried his best to transfer soul power and death aura to Bai Lu. He didn't want Bai Lu to die. I'm fine. Brother Ning, I already knew my ending. Senior Dao God, it's just delaying my death. I'll die sooner or later. I'm already a dead person. You don't have to be sad for me. I'm just going back to where I belong. You have to work harder in the future. Let your name be known throughout the entire Tianxian world. Bai Lu's expression was surprisingly calm. However, her face was distorted and it showed that she was enduring pain. Bai Lu. Ning Tian wanted to grab onto Bai Lu, but his hand passed through her soul. His expression became somewhat panicked, and a trace of panic appeared on the faces of the 2 women beside him. Bai Lu, what are you doing? Ning Tian seemed to have thought of something. I am just going back to where I belong. I'm just doing the last thing I can do. Bai Lu smiled. Her smile was absolutely beautiful. After she chuckled, her soul began to shine continuously. Then, her soul floated into the sky and illuminated the entire precept domain. Bai Lu. The demon god's heart sank. Bai Lu, what are you doing? The reincarnation Dao God's heart skipped a beat. Why are you burning your soul? Senior Dao God, you gave me a life millions of years ago. Today, I'll return you tens of thousands of lives. I'm indebted to you for taking care of me all this time. Thank you, Ovo. Bai Lu chuckled. Her words were free and easy. When 1 soul dies, 10,000 souls live. Boom. The death bell soul dissipated. Bai Lu finally died. The huge soul body energy turned into countless golden light spots and spread out. They fell on the demon bodies. At that moment, the demon bodies seemed to be clear and their consciousness returned temporarily. Bai Lu. At this moment, whether it was Luo Wuqing, Su Yueyao, or the demon gods, their eyes turned red. Old Dao, what are you waiting for? Don't waste the opportunity that Bai Lu created for you. Just as the reincarnation Dao God was in a daze, an angry roar exploded from the void ship. Ning Tian looked over with red eyes. The reincarnation Dao God nodded heavily. His life force exploded. How touching, however. The blood demon was watching with great interest. Damn you. At that moment, a furious roar rang out. Demonic chi flowed around Ning Tian's body. His crimson eyes turned pitch black as a terrifying demonic chi appeared. The Buddha Demon Pagoda has devoured the fiery demon god's energy. Do you want to use the celestial demon body card? Yes. Ning Tian shouted in his heart. Successful use. Boom. Boom. At that moment, a torrential demonic aura erupted from Ning Tian's body. His body enlarged in an instant. He was 100 feet tall. However, the celestial demon bodyguard this time was completely different from the previous one. The heart of the demon race was beating. Terrifying demonic aura constantly erupted from Ning Tian's body. At that moment, his aura crushed the blood demon. Die for me. Ning Tian turned into 100 feet tall. His body was pitch black and full of demonic aura. That punch was filled with endless anger and was aimed at the blood demon. Although the blood demon was not directly responsible for Bai Lu's death, he still had something to do with it. This punch, it was filled with anger. Boom. Bang. The punch landed on the blood demon. The power of this punch sent him flying tens of thousands of meters away. The current celestial demon bodyguard was formed after the Buddha demon pagoda absorbed the fiery demon god's energy. At this moment, Ning Tian's strength was enough to crush the blood demon god. What? Why is your strength above mine? And your demonic aura? The blood demon's face changed drastically after being sent flying tens of thousands of meters away. You've shocked the blood demon. Celestial demon bodyguard. Strength doubled. The system's voice sounded in his mind. Ning Tian's eyes were crimson red. A wisp of black air flowed out of his body as he charged towards the blood demon once again. He had used the simplest method to beat the blood demon to the point where he couldn't even fight back. Hiss! Is this the furious ancestral master? The four demon gods' hearts sank. Miss Bai Lu's death had directly triggered the ancestral master's anger. The ancestral master now. Who could stop him? Boom, boom, boom. Punch after punch landed on the blood demon god's body. Cracks appeared on his precept domain. The blood demon god was beaten silly. He was like a chicken in the hands of Ning Tian. He could not resist at all. Boom. You like to torture people, right? Today, I'll let you experience what torture is. Ning Tian's eyes were filled with killing intent. Demonic aura gradually emerged. He slammed his palm toward the blood demon god, landing on his body continuously. Break your hand. Break your leg. You like to torture people. Today, I'll torture you thoroughly. Ning Tian's angry voice was like thunder. Ah, no, I was wrong. Spare me. Boom, boom, palm after palm. The blood demon god was badly mutilated. You want to die? Sometimes, death is also a luxury. Ning Tian had completely demonized. He directly used the law of death to kill the blood demon god and resurrect him. I'll kill you again and again. Even if I kill you thousands of times, it won't be enough to relieve the pain in my heart. Boom. After an unknown period of time, Tao God reincarnation had settled everything. He was already white-haired. Looking at the tens of thousands of Jin family members of the precept domain whose souls had returned to their bodies, he fell into silence. He was not happy because he knew all of this was returned to him by the lady named Bai Lu. He only saved her life, and Bai Lu returned his entire precept domain. Boom, boom. No one knew when. Ning Tian's spirit energy was finally exhausted. He automatically removed himself from the state of being in the same body. One could imagine what kind of attack he had used to exhaust all his spirit energy at this very moment. He was still waving his fist and slamming it toward the blood demon god who was no longer breathing. Even if his body was badly mutilated, even if his expression was numb, his waving fists never stopped. Two fragrant winds came. Husband. Looking at Ning Tian's appearance, the two women felt very uncomfortable. Luo Wuqing stretched out her hand and grabbed Ning Tian's fist. Her voice was choked with sobs. Husband, if this continues, your mind will be devoured by the devil qi. Ning Tian was silent. He raised his pair of bloodshot eyes. His voice was haggard, and his expression was full of helplessness. Wife, I still couldn't save her. I still couldn't save her. The two women were silent. Looking at Ning Tian's appearance, they were very heartbroken. They were also very upset about Bai Lu's death. Husband, Luo Wuqing squatted down and hugged Ning Tian in her arms. Her voice was also choked with sobs. She said softly, Husband, you've done your best. Ning Tian buried his head in his arms, but he let out an unwilling roar. Ah! At that moment, everyone around had a solemn expression. Their noses were a little sour, and they felt extremely uncomfortable. Wind. It blew past the group of people. Everything seemed to be perfect, but everything seemed to be missing something. The host has activated the branch of the unknown tree, life. And at this time, in his mind, the system's voice sounded. The host doesn't have to blame yourself. Bai Lu still has a chance to be saved. Her soul is currently in the Earth Soul world. The host once gave her a small branch of the unknown tree. It has the power of life and can protect her from reincarnation. The host can find the power of Bai Lu's soul to water the unknown tree. If there is a chance in the future, bring her back from the Earth Soul world. Bai Lu is in the Earth Soul world, the branch of the unknown tree. Hearing this, Ning Tian's mind shook. He suddenly thought of something, and the decadent look in his eyes suddenly disappeared. At that moment, he understood that he had saved Bai Lu by a freak combination of factors. Originally, he just casually gave Bai Lu a small branch, but it was this casual action that played a crucial role. Originally, all spirit souls would return to the Earth Soul world and reincarnate in the Earth Soul world. All spirit souls would be reborn in the Earth Soul world. However, after being reborn, they would no longer be their original selves, but a new person. But now, because of the small branch, Bai Lu could be saved. The power of the soul. Yes, old man Dao. Ning Tian climbed up from Luo Wuqing's arms. Then, ignoring the puzzled eyes of the crowd, he rushed to the white-haired reincarnation Dao god who had fallen into silence. Old man Dao, give me the power of Bai Lu's soul. Quick. As long as you give me the power of Bai Lu's soul, I can bring Bai Lu back in the future. Phew, I've exceeded my word count. The main reason is that I don't want to get stuck on the most important plot. Bai Lu can still be saved. Everything is just a foreshadowing. Actually, from the moment the twig was given to Bai Lu's fate was already decided. Bai Lu was destined to die and would definitely go to the Earth Spirit world. Chapter 570. Ning Tian's roar resounded in everyone's ears and instantly broke the dead silence. Bai Lu, she can still be saved? Hearing that, no matter if it was the two women, reincarnation Dao God, or the four great demon gods, there was a flash of light in their eyes and their breathing became rapid. Bai Lu could still be saved? Bai Lu, who usually hugged the death bell and drew circles to curse Brother Ning, can still come back? Ning Tian, Dao God reincarnation, was stunned and wanted to say something. However, looking at Ning Tian's solemn expression and his bloodshot eyes, he fell silent and slowly opened his hand. In his palm, a ball of energy appeared. It was like a tie, shining with red light and emitting strong vitality. This is Bai Lu's last chance. Ning Tian, this is Bai Lu's last bit of life spirit. I'll leave it to you. I hope you can really bring Bai Lu back. Dao God reincarnation's tone was solemn as he handed the power of life spirit to Ning Tian. I will. I definitely will. Ning Tian nodded heavily and looked at Bai Lu's last bit of life spirit in his hand with a solemn expression. Everyone's gaze fell on Ning Tian. Phew. Ning Tian took a deep breath, and then the power of life spirit in his hand slowly dissipated. In the small world of his Dantian, the power of life spirit that dissipated from Ning Tian's hand had already poured into it and watered the unknown tree. Everything seemed to have brought about a new lease of life. On the unknown tree, a Dao fruit slowly grew. That is, life Dao fruit. However, Ning Tian's gaze was not on the life Dao fruit, but the unknown tree that he had once broken off. At that moment, a new life was growing out from the unknown tree. That is the willow branch. So, it's like this. Ning Tian's expression was complicated as he looked at the willow branch that grew from the unknown tree. He seemed to have come to a sudden realization, yet he also felt a sense of loss. He muttered to himself, a willow branch that hangs down to remember the deceased. But the willow tree can also symbolize vitality. I will make a trip to the Earth Soul world one day. He gritted his teeth, his eyes resolute. The power of Bai Lu's life spirit has already been poured into the unknown tree. The Tree of Life branch will protect Bai Lu and prevent it from entering the cycle of reincarnation. However, the host must think carefully. If it does not enter the cycle of reincarnation, it means that it will never be reincarnated. It means that it will not be reincarnated. If the host does not go to the Earth Soul domain, Bai Lu will never be able to reincarnate and start a new life. The system's voice rang out in Ning Tian's mind. Never to be reincarnated, unable to start a new life? Huh? Hearing this, Ning Tian was moved, but he quickly made up his mind. Although it sounds selfish, but no one wants Bai Lu to die, and Bai Lu doesn't want to die either. Then, let me be the selfish person. I will go to the Earth's soul world as soon as possible. I won't let Bai Lu wait for too long. The unknown tree has saved Bai Lu. In his mind, the system's voice finally sounded. Ning Tian also retreated from the small world in his dantian. Everyone's expectant gaze had already landed on him. They all saw the moment when Bai Lu's life soul dissipated. Husband, is there a way to bring Bai Lu back? Luo Wuqing's beautiful eyes landed on Ning Tian. Looking at his haggard appearance, she could not help but feel a little sad. Yes, Bai Lu is in the Earth Soul world. Ning Tian nodded slightly. Earth Soul world. Hearing this, the surrounding people were not too surprised. The dead had to go to the other side, and the other side was in the Earth Soul world. But the Earth Soul world did not belong to the 9 regions, nor did it belong to the Divine region. No one knew where the Earth Soul world was. Even if they entered the Earth Soul world, they would not be able to bring the dead back. Because once they entered the Earth Soul world, the soul basically did not belong to the 9 regions or the Divine region. They would enter a new reincarnation and start a new life. After Bai Lu entered the Earth Soul world, she would also be reborn. At that time, Bai Lu was no longer Bai Lu. What was this about bringing her back? Husband, do you have a way to prevent Bai Lu's soul from entering the reincarnation? Su Yueyao's fluffy fox ears twitched as if she thought of something. Her gaze landed on Ning Tian as she asked tentatively, prevent her from entering the reincarnation? The surrounding people's eyes suddenly lit up. If Bai Lu did not enter the reincarnation and there was a way to bring her back, then she would definitely be saved. Yes, I have a way. But where is the Earth Soul world? Ning Tian's brows furrowed. No one knew where the Earth Soul world was. The surrounding people were also silent. Even Reincarnation Dao God had only heard of the Earth Soul world, but did not know how to enter. Forget it. There will definitely be a chance to enter in the future. Ning Tian said as a glint flashed across his eyes. Before he found the entrance to the Earth Soul world, what he had to do was to constantly become stronger. He had to become strong enough to bring Bai Lu out after finding the Earth Soul world. Yes. Everyone nodded heavily, but the atmosphere was still silent. Although Bai Lu could be saved, no matter what, this girl really left them temporarily. Husband, at this time, Luo Wuqing walked toward Ning Tian. Looking at Ning Tian's bloodshot eyes, she felt her heart ache. After a faint sigh, she took out an item from her bosom and placed it in Ning Tian's hand. When Bai Lu comes back, you can personally return this to her. Ning Tian was stunned and looked over. That was the broken death bell. Yes. Ning Tian took it and his eyes turned red instantly. Then, he hugged Luo Wuqing rudely into his arms and remained silent for a long time. All he wanted was a temporary rest. After a long time, Old Dao, what do you plan to do now? Ning Tian let go of Luo Wuqing and looked at Reincarnation Dao God. He burned his life force and turned from a handsome young man to a white-haired old man. However, Reincarnation Dao God didn't regret it. The Jian clan of the Dao domain has a new life because of Bai Lu. However, it will take a long time to recover. Reincarnation Dao God sighed and looked at the Dao domain that was in a mess. There was a glint of murderous intent in his eyes again. Before my clan members recover, I have to make a trip to the demon region. The demon clan that once massacred the people of the Dao domain isn't completely dead yet. Tens of thousands of people. It wasn't all the people of the Dao domain. Create havoc in the demon region? Ning Tian looked at Reincarnation Dao God and said faintly, bring me along? How about it? Reincarnation Dao God was stunned. You are for the Dao domain, and I am only for Bailu. Ning Tian said word by word. His expression was calm, but there was a hidden murderous intent. Reincarnation Dao God was silent and then nodded heavily. For this trip, only old Dao, Sha Tian and I will go. Ning Tian turned to look at them and said calmly. The celestial demon body was valid for 7 days. That meant that he still had time. He couldn't waste the time of the experience card. Yes, the few demon gods nodded. The two women wanted to say something but stopped. In the end, they just nodded slightly. Husband, be careful. We will wait for your return in the Dao domain. You can search in the Dao domain. The fiery scarlet demon god originally planned to look for something here. You can pay attention and be careful. Wait for me to come back and check it out. Ning Tian reminded the two women. After the Buddha demon tower absorbed the fiery scarlet demon god's energy, part of the memory fragments were absorbed by him. He also obtained some information. Okay, we got it. Luo Wuqing and Su Yueyao nodded. However, they also secretly decided to speed up their cultivation. Even if they couldn't surpass Ning Tian by much, they couldn't fall too far behind him. Okay, old Dao, let's go, Ning Tian said, and stepped onto the void ship with the fiery Lion King and old Dao. Earth Soul Domain. The dead souls, evil spirits, and wraiths floated in the entire world. The sky was blood red, and there was death aura everywhere. Evil spirits, wraiths, and wraiths could be seen everywhere. This was the world of the dead. Similarly, it was a more cruel world. All of the spirit souls would gather in the Earth Soul world. However, if they wanted to reincarnate, it would be extremely difficult. This was because the spirit souls would kill each other. In a city in the Earth Soul domain, there seemed to be two figures drinking in a small pavilion. Phew, I don't know how many years it has been, but this soul tea of yours feels like the best tea I have ever tasted. The white-haired old man gently sipped a mouthful of tea. The corners of his mouth lifted slightly as he slowly spoke. Is that so? In front of him, it was a figure shrouded in black soul aura. Hearing the white-haired old man's words, he didn't know whether to agree or disagree. Haha. Another cup. The white-haired old man laughed loudly. After stroking his beard, he placed the teacup in front of the shadow of the black soul. The shadow of the black soul didn't say anything. He just poured tea for the old man until it was 70% full. Is your mission over? At this moment, the shadow of the black soul, who had been silent all this time, put down the teapot and looked at the white-haired old man. Yes, it's over. The white-haired old man took a sip of tea and said slowly, it should be. Anyway, the doppelganger I left in the 9 regions has dissipated. Since it has dissipated, it should be over. The shadow of the black soul fell silent again. Then, he looked at the white-haired old man. A red light flashed in the shadow of the black soul. Are you willing to let them fight? Every one of them has the chance to step into that final realm. There's no other way. For the final battle, I have no other choice. They know it in their hearts. They are also prepared. The white-haired old man held the teacup in his hand. The tea in the cup rippled and his hand was trembling. His tone was filled with helplessness. This time, upon hearing these words, the black soul shadow finally descended into silence. On the small pavilion, there was a long silence. Boom, boom. At this moment, it was as though something had descended from the heavens. A loud boom suddenly rang out and resounded throughout the entire earth spirit world. At this moment, all the departed souls and spirits raised their empty eyes and looked towards the sky. Under the blood-red sky, a white figure floated down. It seems that another spirit has fallen into the earth spirit world. The white-haired old man narrowed his eyes. On the other hand, the shadow of the black soul seemed very calm. He had seen this situation too many times. Every day, countless departed spirits from the 9 regions or the God domain would descend into the earth spirit world. However, the commotion this time seemed to be a little too big. However, no matter who they were in life, they have to abide by the rules of the earth spirit world when they come to it. The shadow of the black soul said faintly and was about to get up. But at this moment, the white-haired old man stopped him. Give me face and don't touch her. How about it? The white-haired old man smiled and looked at the shadow of the black soul. It seemed that the white-haired old man's words had some effect. The shadow of the black soul, who was about to move, stopped at this moment. A pair of eyes fell on the white-haired old man. There was a complicated look in his eyes. Why? He asked. For thousands of years, even if your friends died, you have never said anything to me? Look at her physique. The white-haired old man did not say much. He just said faintly. Hearing the white-haired old man's words, the shadow of the black soul looked at the white soul. Suddenly, his face changed slightly. He said in a deep voice, "Spectral soul physique." This is the spectral soul physique, yes? Don't you think that she is very suitable to be the successor of the Earth spirit world? The white-haired old man raised his eyebrows. The shadow of the black soul was silent. He looked at the white-haired old man. This is the reason why you want to protect her? Perhaps. The white-haired old man smiled and did not explain further. Master, I also want to ask you to protect her. At this moment, the void shattered, and a cold female voice rang out. Then, a woman in black leather clothes appeared in the small pavilion. The two people in the pavilion immediately looked over. Death? You are not in the Black Death Mountain. Why are you here? The shadow of the black soul frowned. Looking at the woman in black leather, there was a trace of reprimand in his voice. Master, don't worry. This is just a clone of mine. My real body is still in the Black Death Mountain. The person who came was the owner of the Black Death Mountain, the Death Lord. You are here for the white soul? The shadow of the black soul frowned and looked at the Death Lord. Yes. The Death Lord nodded. Since your disciple is here for the white soul, perhaps you can consider what I said just now. The white-haired old man smiled and looked at the shadow of the black soul. The shadow of the black soul was silent. Finally, he nodded slightly. If it is the spectral soul physique, it may work. Then protect her. Hearing this, the Death Lord's chest rippled. He let out a long sigh of relief. At this moment, the white soul fell from the sky. In her arms was a death bell made of soul energy. She landed in the earth spirit world. At the same time, the surrounding evil souls and spirits rushed towards her. That was the purest soul energy. It was the power that all evil souls desired. Not good. The Death Lord's face changed. If these evil souls and spirits devoured by Lu's soul energy, she would really disappear from this world. The shadow of the black soul also wanted to take action and order these evil souls to retreat. But at this moment, boom, 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 a white light spread out from Lu's hands. Then, the surrounding spirit souls were all sent flying by the explosion of his aura and fell heavily onto the ground. What is that? Seeing this scene, the three people in the small pavilion changed their faces. They looked over and saw a glimmering light in Lu's arms. Upon closer look, it was a twig. And it was this twig that enveloped Lu and protected her. It seems like there is still something. We have to protect this girl. The white-haired old man couldn't help but smile. Yes, the shadow of the black soul nodded slightly, but there was a flash of doubt in his eyes. Who was it? Author's words. Take a break for 4,000 words. I will update normally tomorrow. I need banknotes. I have updated a lot recently, but the banknotes have decreased. My heart is bleeding. Chapter 571. At this moment, outside the Earth's spirit world, in the divine realm, in the void, a pitch-black battleship cut through the void and headed deeper. On the void battleship, Ning Tian sat cross-legged. He wanted to take advantage of the time he spent in the demon realm to recover all his spirit energy. Although his 10 spirit seas had been exhausted, it was only a matter of time before he recovered. On the side, the flame-sealing Lion King and Tao God Reincarnation were at the helm and recovering their strength. They had just finished a great battle. Next, they had to face an even greater battle. They had to be fully prepared. A few hours later, Ning Tian let out a long sigh of relief. Although his 10 spirit seas had not fully recovered, he had recovered about 7 of them. Although it was not much, he could still use them. And the fruit of life on the unknown tree, Ning Tian murmured. His divine sense had already entered the small world in his dantian. He had just witnessed Bai Lu's sacrifice. One soul had perished, and 10,000 souls had been reborn. Through this scene, he had actually completely comprehended the law of life. Sigh. Ning Tian sighed faintly. Then, he plucked the fruit of life and swallowed it. In an instant, the power of life flowed out of his body. The power of life actually healed some of the wounds on his body. The law of life did not give him the ability to be immortal. Instead, it gave him a healing power that was beyond his knowledge. In other words, although it was not immortal, it could be like a cockroach that could not be killed. His vitality was stubborn. For now, Ning Tian raised his hand, for rays of light floated in his hand. The pitch-black law of death, the golden law of time, the crimson law of heavenly fire, and the emerald law of life. These were the laws of heaven and earth that he had truly mastered. The unknown tree had also changed. After mastering 4 laws of heaven and earth, the unknown tree's size had also increased. It was no longer in the shape of a sapling but a small tree. It seemed the growth of the unknown tree would change according to the number of laws of heaven and earth that Ning Tian had mastered. After swallowing the fruit of life and mastering the law of life, Ning Tian's consciousness slowly withdrew from the small world in his dantian. A pitch-black locator appeared in his hand. He already had a plan in his mind. He had forgotten about the existence of the heaven and earth locator. Now that he remembered it, he would use it to ask for the location of the earth spirit world. Earth spirit world. He held the heaven and earth locator and murmured in his heart. Searching. In progress, the needle of the heaven and earth locator kept swaying and flashed with a pitch-black light. Buzz. Buzz. The needle swayed as if it was having a hard time making a decision. After a long time, only then did it slowly stop. 9 regions. The first message appeared in Ning Tian's mind. God, 9 regions? Could it be that the Earth Soul domain is in the 9 regions? Hearing the news from the heaven and earth locator, Ning Tian frowned. Why was the Earth Soul world in the 9 regions? Black Death Mountain. The next moment, another piece of even more important information appeared in his mind. 9 regions. Black Dead Mountain. Ning Tian pondered for a moment. Then his eyes lit up. He seemed to have understood something. Could it be that the Black Dead Mountain is the entrance to the Earth Spirit world? Black Dead Mountain? At the side, Tao God Reincarnation also exited from his cultivation state. Hearing Ning Tian's words, he couldn't help but frown. If it's the Black Dead Mountain, it might be the entrance to the Earth Spirit world. The Master of the Dead Mountain is the Master of Death. Controlling death is indeed very similar to the Earth Spirit world. Then it shouldn't be wrong. If you want to enter the Earth Spirit world, you have to go to the Black Dead Mountain of the 9 regions again. Ning Tian's eyes flashed. He nodded heavily. Every life forbidden zone must have its own meaning of existence, and the meaning of the Black Dead Mountain was most likely to guard the entrance to the Earth Spirit world. Even so, Ning Tian, don't act rashly. Looking at the excited Ning Tian, Tao God Reincarnation frowned slightly and said slowly, although I don't know how you killed the blood demon, no matter if it's the Black Dead Mountain or the Earth Spirit world, it's not somewhere you can go with your current strength. Although he couldn't see through Ning Tian's strength, he could vaguely guess. After all, Ning Tian had broken through in his tomb. In his opinion, the reason why Ning Tian could kill the blood demon was probably because he borrowed the power left by the 9 primes of the Heavenly Palace. Even if you have many heaven-defying means, but your own strength is the real strength. Tao God Reincarnation's words rang in Ning Tian's ears. Yes, I know. Ning Tian nodded. Although he knew how to enter the Earth Spirit world now, but with his current strength, it was indeed not good to barge in rashly. Not to mention the existence of the Earth Spirit world. Speaking of the Death Overlord alone, that woman probably wouldn't let him off so easily. After all, he had stolen her breastplate in front of so many people. However, if he told her that he was here to rescue Bai Lu, perhaps that woman would let him in. However, in the Earth Soul world, it would not be so easy to talk to. In short, he had to increase his strength first. Only then could he bring Bai Lu back safely from the Earth spirit world. Phew. Ning Tian let out a long breath. There was still a long way to go. Old Dao, now is the time to talk about the demon region? He looked at Dao God Reincarnation and asked.
Yes.
Dao God Reincarnation nodded. His expression gradually turned serious as he said slowly, "This demon region is the smallest region of the demon race. It is probably only half the size of the demon region. But in this small demon region, there are 7 major demon races, such as the drought demon race, the blood demon race, and so on. These are all demon races that have attacked the precept domain. I want to exterminate these demon races one by one." As soon as he finished speaking, Old Dao's words were indifferent. "Yes, I understand." Ning Tian nodded slightly with a calm expression. "Then let's reach the small demon region as soon as possible. By the way," his gaze fell on the ceiling flame Lion King as he smiled. "Sha Tian, when we reach the small demon region, you can devour as much as you want. Roar, roar." Hearing this, the ceiling flame Lion King roared excitedly, and the void ship's speed increased significantly. The small demon region. Demonic aura surged in the region. All kinds of demon race experts wearing demonic armor flashed in the small demon region. This place was heavily guarded. It was obviously an important place for the demon race. The demon race in the divine region was not as scattered as the human race or the demon race. They were very united. There were 6 king regions and emperor regions in the divine region, and this small demon region was one of the king regions. In the main hall of the demon god city, 5 demon gods sat. Why haven't Qi Yin and the blood demon returned yet? Aren't they just the remnants of the precept domain? They need so much time. One of the demon gods spoke slowly with a hint of dissatisfaction in his voice. These 2 guys. Lord Blood Refining Demon God said that what awaits us in the small demon region is a major event. Another demon god chimed in. Lord Blood Refining Demon God? Has that Lord Blood Refining Demon God also awakened? It seems that our demon race is going to do something big. Hearing this, the surrounding demon gods were surprised. The Blood Refining Demon God was a demon god in the Demon Emperor domain. His status was much higher than theirs. Yes. 3 months later, perhaps our demon race will take action on that matter. 3 months later, that matter. Hearing this, the surrounding demon gods seemed to understand something. They only talked about the demon race and did not mention the ancient god Cloud Atlas of Heaven and Earth Atlas. Obviously, they had nothing to do with that force. Now, we just need to wait for the blood demon god and Qi Yin to return. One of the demon gods said. The other 4 demon gods nodded. Boom. At this moment, a roar sounded from outside the main hall. It instantly alerted all the experts in the small demon region in the demon god city. All of them looked up at the sky. Sky Demon Express. Who will sign for it? At this moment, a hearty laugh sounded from the sky. Sky Demon? Is there a Sky Demon race in our demon race? The murderous demon god, who was the leader, frowned. The demon chi on his body surged, and a look of confusion flashed across his eyes. The other 4 demon gods also pondered for a moment. They had never heard of the Sky Demon race. Let's go out and have a look. The murderous demon god slowly got up, and the other 4 demon gods followed behind him. Inside the demon god city, all the demon race experts in the small demon region looked up at the sky. The hearty laugh sounded from that direction. There were obvious signs of void fluctuations in that direction, as though something was about to rush out. Who are you? Sky Demon. I have never heard of it. The murderous demon god walked out of the main hall with the other 4 demon gods. Demon chi flowed around his body. He looked up at the sky. Demon chi flowed in his eyes as he tried to see through the sky, but he saw nothing. Sky Demon Express. I just need you to sign for it. As for the fee, I will collect it myself. In the sky, the voice sounded again. Then, under the puzzled gazes of the demon gods and the demon race experts in the demon god city, a black shadow fell from the sky and landed heavily on the ground. Boom. When the black shadow landed, the demon race experts looked over. This is Lord Demon Blood Demon. The demon race experts in the demon god city were shocked. Blood demon? He's dead? Even the murderous demon god and the other demon gods were shocked when they looked over. The black shadow that fell from the sky was Blood Demon's corpse. His corpse was beyond recognition, and he died peacefully. It's you. You killed Blood Demon? The demon gods looked up at the sky, where the massive pitch-black battleship had already emerged from the void. What else could it be? Ning Tian appeared on the void ship and looked at the group of people in the demon god city kindly. Since the Sky Demon Express is here, I'll have to trouble you to pay. After all, there are not many people who can kill a demon god and send his corpse back. What do you want? The murderous demon god looked at Ning Tian with a hint of fear in his eyes. He did not act rashly. He could not see through Ning Tian's strength. Since he could kill Blood Demon, it meant that Ning Tian was definitely not weak. I'm not doing anything. I'm just here to collect your fees. After all, it's a Sky Demon Express delivery. I can't give it to you for free, right? Ning Tian smiled at the demon race cultivators, his expression unchanged. Express? What's that? Hearing this, the demon race experts in Demon God City were at a loss. It's not expensive. It's just the lives of all the demons in your small demon territory. On the void battleship, Ning Tian smiled at the demon gods. It was as though she was saying, I just want to kill everyone here, or I'll kill everyone here. What? How arrogant. Hearing this, the expressions of the group of demon race experts in Demon God City changed drastically, and they were shocked. You've shocked a group of demon race experts. Reward, Heart of the Demon Race. Awakening. When activating the demon race territory to release the Heart of the Demon Race, the Heart of the Demon Race will provide more demon chi. In his mind, when the system's voice rang out, Ning Tian's smile became even more amiable. Old Dao, it seems like someone is not convinced. Ning Tian looked behind him with a faint smile. If you're not convinced, then kill them all. It's just killing anyway. Behind him, Reincarnation Dao God's voice was heard. He, with his white hair, appeared in front of the few demon gods. Suddenly, the few demon gods' faces changed and their eyes turned solemn. Jian Yu Dao. It's you. If it's not me, who could it be? Dao God Reincarnation looked at the demon gods with a murderous look in his eyes. You want to destroy the small demon region with just the two of you? You want to avenge the precept domain? Ridiculous. The murderous demon god sensed the void ship and sneered when he realized that there were only the two of them on it. No. Correction. It's not just the two of us. I also placed a lion in the small demon region. At this moment, Ning Tian corrected the murderous demon god. Huh, a small lion? The murderous demon god was stunned for a moment before he burst into laughter. It's just a small beast. What can it do? The demon race experts in the Demon God City also laughed sarcastically. That's right. A small beast is indeed useless. What you said makes sense. Ning Tian touched his chin and said indifferently, since the demon god has said so. Shot Tian. Swallow it. Swallow? The demon gods and demon experts were taken aback. As soon as he said that, then, roar, roar. There was a roar. It resounded throughout the entire small demon region. Then, a behemoth appeared in everyone's sight. As the behemoth shook, all the buildings in the small demon region shattered. Roar. With a lion's roar, even the demon god city collapsed in an instant. What? What the hell is that? All of the demon race experts in the demon god city crawled out from the ruins. Looking at the huge creature, everyone in the small demon realm had a look of horror in their eyes. Lord Demon God. Oh no. Under the attack of that behemoth, all the buildings in the small demon region have collapsed. Many demon clan experts were swallowed by that demonic beast. Panicked voices sounded from all directions. The murderous demon god's face turned extremely ugly. You have shocked several demon gods through the flame-sealing Lion King. The flame-sealing Lion King's swallowing ability has been strengthened. The system's voice sounded in his mind. Old Dao, since Sha Tian has already made his move, let's begin. Ning Tian chuckled and looked at the demon race experts below. Dao God Reincarnation nodded. Then, his figure moved and shot toward the few demon gods below him. Demon King, come out, Ning Tian said indifferently when he saw old Daoist taking action. The Demon Spirit King appeared behind him. Although the Demon Spirit King couldn't display the same strength as when he was in the demon god domain, it wouldn't be a problem for him to kill some ordinary demon race experts. Next, it's my turn. Ning Tian chuckled but was not in a hurry to fight. Instead, he injected one of his spiritual Cs into the void ship and activated the void ship's combat mode. The spiritual chi turned into a powerful cannonball and shot toward the demon race below. The void ship had been modified by Yi Wuyo when he was in the Heavenly Palace. It had long been equipped with combat functions. It was just that it was used today. Everything was settled. Ning Tian clapped his hands and leaped from the void ship. When he was in the air, streaks of black light appeared on his body. The demon heart began to beat in his body, and more demon chi appeared around him. Thump, thump. The demon heart's beating sound echoed in his body. Demon God, one body, along with a loud roar. Above the sky, a huge demon chi burst out, instantly attracting the attention of countless demon race experts. In a cloud of black chi in the sky, a demon shadow appeared. What's that? All the demon race experts were stunned. Was there a demon race expert coming to support them? But right at this moment, the 300 tall devil figure stomped down towards the devil expert below. Boom, 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 boom. In an instant, the entire ground was torn apart. It's that kid. How can he control demon chi? The experts of the devil race in the surroundings instantly reacted when they saw the figure attack. The figure had been formed by Ning Tian, and it wasn't their reinforcements at all. It was here to take their lives. This move again? Reincarnation Dao God frowned slightly and then headed toward Heaven Slaughter Demon God. Among the few demon gods, only Heaven Slaughter Demon God had reached Ancient God Realm. The rest of the demon gods were 9-star heaven gods. It was enough to leave it to Ning Tian, who had demonized. Old Dao, let's kill to our heart's content. Waves of demonic music erupted from Ning Tian's body after he had demonized, and a terrifying power condensed. Between the punch and the palm, there were sonic booms. Many demon race experts were blown apart by the punch. Ning Tian, who was both demon god and demon god, was absorbing the power of Scarlet Flame Demon God with Buddha Demon Pagoda. His power was at least Ancient God Realm. Boom. Leave Reincarnation Dao God to me. I'll leave the demon shadow to you. Looking at the scene, Slaughter Demon God had no time to think. He moved his body slightly and headed toward Reincarnation Dao God. He did not notice that the surrounding demon gods' faces turned bitter. It was obvious. Both Reincarnation Dao God and the demon shadow were not easy to deal with. The surrounding demon chi was getting thicker. Ning Tian transformed into a 300-meter-tall demonic shadow. Relying on the power of both celestial and demon, she began to launch devastating attacks throughout the entire little demon zone. The 9-star Empyrean gods could only do their best to stop her. However, how could they possibly withstand Ning Tian's destructive power at this moment? Boom, boom, boom. Around Demon City, tens of thousands of demon race troops gathered and wanted to attack Ning Tian. However, before they could get close, the Demon King and the Void Ship's suppressive fire instantly defeated them. Not far away, after receiving Ning Tian's order, the Seal Flame Lion King, which had already transformed into a colossal being, began to devour the surrounding devil army. Faced with such a colossal being, the devil army, which didn't even have ancestral gods, had no ability to resist at all. Moreover, the most important thing was, the power that Sha Tian devoured from the demon race troops would be replenished by Ning Tian. In other words, as Sha Tian devoured more, Ning Tian's power kept soaring. Damn it! Why does this guy's power keep increasing? If this goes on, I might really die in his hands. Puff. One of the 4 demon gods looked upset. However, before he could finish, he was punched into the ground by Ning Tian. Blood demon god. One of the 4 demon gods had died. Moreover, he died just like that. That's right. The more Sha Tian devours, the more power it replenishes me. Ning Tian, who had transformed into a 300-meter-long demonic shadow, could not help but chuckle. Seeing that it was almost a one-sided battle, his eyes flashed. In a battle of this level, only the strong could decide the outcome of the battle. As for the demon race troops, they were nothing more than cannon fodder. It's about time to deal with them. Demonic aura flashed in Ning Tian's black eyes. He glanced at the 3 demon gods in front of him indifferently. Then, his body moved. Demonic aura surged in his hand. The 300-meter-long demonic shadow moved again and flashed in front of the demon gods. Boom, boom. Demonic aura spread in all directions. It was unclear whether it was Ning Tian's demonic aura or the demonic aura of the demon race's experts. It was just like how a certain master once said to use magic to defeat magic. What evil intentions could Ning Tian have? He was only using demonic aura to defeat demonic aura. To kill a demon, one had to destroy the heart. On the other side, the murderous demon god's fist landed heavily on reincarnation Dao God, and the two were instantly bounced back. Looking at the small demon region that had suffered heavy losses, the murderous demon god gritted his teeth and a fierce light flashed in his eyes. Then, he shouted to the side, "Quick, form the formation with me. Form the demon fiend formation." However, there was no response from the demon gods. F***CK. Are you dead? If you don't form the formation, the small demon region will be gone. He roared, his voice filled with anger. When he turned around, he saw the 3 demon gods being trampled under the feet of the 1,000-feet-tall demonic figure. It was obvious that they had died peacefully. It's over. Seeing this, despair flashed in the murderous demon god's eyes. But how could he be willing to stop here? Roar. The murderous demon god roared and looked at the 2 of them angrily. Since you want to destroy the small demon region, I'll take you down with me. Demon blood. Form the formation. Demon fiend formation. As soon as his voice died down, black demon blood began to burst out from his body. A huge formation appeared above the entire small demon region. The bodies of the dead demons below were also swallowed by the ground and turned into bursts of energy. Soon, a formation that covered the entire small demon region appeared. What a huge formation! It's so powerful. Ning Tian saw the horror of this formation through the eye of the formation. But at this moment, it was impossible for him to destroy it alone. This formation was too huge. Got it. Sha Tian's body is enough to destroy this formation. Ning Tian's eyes flashed. Then, he shouted, "Sha Tian, devour this formation." Roar. When Sha Tian heard this, he was stunned for a moment. Devouring formation? Its lion eyes looked down at the living beings below. Sure enough, it saw an enormous pitch-black formation. But how could he devour this formation? Roar. Suddenly, Sha Tian's eyes lit up. He had an idea. He opened his huge mouth and bit down. Roar. Master Lion is so witty. Ning Tian and Reincarnation Dao God were stunned when they saw this scene. Then, they ran for their lives. Sha Tian did not want to devour the formation. He wanted to devour the entire small demon region. What the F***CK? Chapter 572. There was an exclamation. The sky turned dark, and everyone in the small demon region smelled a wonderful stench. Roar, roar. The ceiling flame Lion King roared excitedly, and its body changed again. The power from its mouth was an endless devouring power, and the small demon region in front of it became its food. Boom, boom. For a moment, all the land in the small demon region began to fall apart, and the remains of all the buildings collapsed again. Countless corpses of the demon clan experts disappeared into the mouth of the abyss. At this moment, the flame-sealing Lion King stood in the void, channeling the devouring power of the Taodai and biting toward the small demon realm. The small demon realm was only half the size of the demon god realm. At this moment, the flame-sealing Lion King's body had reached its ultimate form. Standing in the void, it was about the same size as the small demon region. But don't forget, it had the devouring power of Tao Tai. Even if it was the same size, it could still devour. Its body was equivalent to an endless void. Roar! The sealing flame Lion King roared excitedly and then bit down. Master Lion was so smart. In this way, wouldn't it destroy the demon fiend array that the ancestral master mentioned? If one bite couldn't solve it, then another bite. But where was Master Lion's ancestral master? Roar? The sealing flame Lion King roared. It had already swallowed the small devil realm into its body. What should have been a void in front of its eyes was once again flooded by the surrounding devil sea. The small demon region was gone. The demon sea beside it expanded a little. It was gone. But where were the ancestral master and reincarnation Tao God? At this moment, in the stomach of a behemoth. Blurg, why is this guy's mouth so smelly? In the darkness, looking at the small demon region below, Ning Tian was speechless. He asked Sha Tian to destroy the array, but who would have thought that this guy was smart enough to swallow the small demon region into its body? But I really didn't expect Sha Tian to be so good at devouring. He could swallow the small demon region into his body. In this case, can I build a force of a region in his stomach? Ning Tian touched his chin. Isn't this a moving castle? However, if they wanted to achieve this, they would probably have to get rid of this fellow's foul mouth. Otherwise, before the army could even enter, they would be suffocated by the stench. I really didn't expect Ning Tian's mascot to be so capable. Tao God Reincarnation couldn't help but exclaim. You used the fire-sealing Lion King to shock Tao God Reincarnation. The Lion King's IQ has decreased by 1. Hearing this, Ning Tian shrugged. He had spent so much effort to increase it, but now it was taken back. That may be the case, but there is still a demon god that we need to deal with. Ning Tian glanced at the dumbfounded slaughter god fiend not far away and said nonchalantly. The baleful celestial body had a devouring power, which devoured all the devils that entered it. Only the devil god slaying devil god was slightly stronger, so he wasn't affected at all. Tao God Reincarnation nodded slightly. The two of them walked toward the Godslayer Devil God step by step, smiling kindly at the same time. Ning Tian, hey, old man Tao, you're mocking me. Tao God Reincarnation coughed. Ahem. Subconsciously. At this moment, hearing their words, murderous demon god was still a little confused. Facing the two who were approaching him step by step, he clenched his teeth and felt helpless. I resisted and was swallowed. What else is there to say? Damn it. The murderous demon god had never expected that the flame-sealing Lion King, whom he thought was just a small demonic beast, would actually swallow the entire small demon realm in one gulp. Although the small devil territory was very, very small. But, in any case, it was still a domain. Today, this god might die, but I will not let you all have an easy time. A ferocious glint flashed across the murderous demon god's eyes. He then took out a black demonic tablet and looked like he was about to crush it. Not good. Ning Tian, stop him. That's the demonic tablet. Tao God Reincarnation's pupil shrank. After a roar, he dashed toward the murderous demon god at lightning speed. When Ning Tian heard that, he had already turned into a 1,000-feet-long demonic shadow and dashed toward the murderous demon god first. The demonic aura in his hand turned into a sharp blade and slashed the severely injured murderous demon god in half. Their plan was to destroy the demon realm and then run away. That was to not alarm the supreme experts of the demon clan. But now, the murderous demon god's action would obviously alarm the supreme experts of the demon clan. Boom. The huge demonic aura blade tore the murderous demon god apart mercilessly. But the demonic tablet in the murderous demon god's hand was still crushed. It's useless. The murderous demon god's ferocious voice was heard. You can't stop me. As soon as his voice died away, His body was instantly devoured by the flame-sealing Lion King's devouring power. It still didn't stop him. Let's retreat quickly. Dao God Reincarnation frowned. Ning Tian nodded slightly. Running away after killing the demon clan was really exciting. Sha Tian, let us out. He looked at the flame-sealing Lion King's mouth and said in a deep voice, roar? Inside his body. The flame-sealing Lion King's confused roar was heard. It seemed that this guy had not realized that his ancestral master was inside his body. It seemed that the reward given by the system had some effect. Don't doubt it. We are in your stomach. Ning Tian's annoyed voice was heard again. Roar. At this moment, flame-sealing Lion King finally came to his senses and quickly opened his mouth. Ning Tian and Reincarnation Dao God also saw a trace of light from the outside world. They quickly moved and flew out of the Lion King's mouth. Phew! Is this the fresh air? Ning Tian and Dao God Reincarnation rushed out of the flame-sealing Lion King's body and took a deep breath. They finally came out of that stinky place. That smell. Perhaps even an ancient god expert would not be able to withstand it for long. Before their eyes, Ning Tian and Dao God Reincarnation finally witnessed the power of the flame-sealing Lion King's mouth. The entire small demon region was razed to the ground, and the surrounding demon seawater had already flowed into it. In other words, small demon region was gone, and the demon sea had expanded countless times. Let's go. We can't delay any longer. Ning Tian did not stay for long, and said to the flame-sealing Lion King, who was still admiring his battle results. After the flame-sealing Lion King became smaller, he wanted to bring everyone to board the void ship and escape. However, at this moment, in the sky, the demonic aura that filled the sky surged and a low demonic voice was heard. Who is it? Call me here. The enormous aura soared to the sky, and even Dao God Reincarnation felt a sense of suppression. His eyes were solemn, and there was a flash of light in his eyes. This is a chaotic ancient god. Chaotic ancient god. Ning Tian's expression was solemn too. The demonic shadow had already landed. His aura was oppressive, and his demonic aura was torrential. This person was the demon clan expert from the demon clan's imperial domain. He was also the blood-refining demon god that the demon gods had mentioned earlier. When the blood-refining demon god descended in the universe, he was stunned and doubted if he had come to the wrong place. Where is small demon region? Why is there only one demon sea? The blood-refining demon god's demonic eyes fell on Ning Tian and Dao God Reincarnation, and there was a hint of murderous intention in his tone. Dao God Reincarnation circulated the spiritual energy in his hand, and he was obviously ready to take action. However, at this moment, he saw Ning Tian take a step forward and his heart tightened. Was Ning Tian going to attack the blood-refining demon god? Just as he was about to follow, he heard Ning Tian's words. Lord Demon God, you're finally here. Our small demon region has been swallowed by someone. Ning Tian, who had transformed into a 300-meter-tall demonic shadow, rushed towards the blood-refining demon god inside. His voice was as miserable and painful as it could be. Our small demon region has been swallowed by a super-huge demonic beast. At the most critical moment, the blood-refining demon god stepped forward bravely and tore the demon summoning tablet. However, in the end, he did not stop the abominable demonic beast. The entire small demon region has been swallowed by the demonic beast. The entire small demon region has been swallowed? The blood-refining demon god's expression changed slightly, and there was a flash of solemnity in his eyes. No wonder the entire small demon region had disappeared. It had been swallowed by the demonic beast? However, what kind of demonic beast could have swallowed small demon region? Roar! At this moment, at the side, the fire-sealing Lion King, who had turned into a little mascot, burped, and it instantly attracted the blood-refining demon god's attention. However, he only took a glance and looked away. This thing was just a small lion. How big of an appetite could a small lion have? So, who are you? The blood-refining demon god's gaze fell on the two of them. Lord Demon God, I am the disciple of demon god Scarlet Flame, Ning Tian said without blushing. As he spoke, he released some of demon god Scarlet Flame's demonic aura. At this moment, he was already 100-foot-tall demonic figure. He was only 100 million times bigger than an ordinary demon god. Although he was bigger, the demonic aura could not be faked. The current Ning Tian was indeed no different from a demon. Demon god Scarlet Flame's disciple? When did Scarlet Flame have a disciple? The blood-refining demon god raised his eyebrows and sensed slightly. Indeed, there was a trace of demon god Scarlet Flame's demonic aura. This demonic aura could not be faked. What about this human? The blood-refining demon god asked indifferently as his demonic eyes fell on Tao God Reincarnation. Well, I caught this human to be my boy toy. After all, that's my type. As for why he's so old, Lord Demon God, you must have heard of this saying before. The older the ginger, the spicier it is. I like spicy ones. Ning Tian coughed dryly and said quietly. Tao God Reincarnation was confused. Well, Lord Demon God, do you want to shoot at him? Ning Tian ignored Tao God Reincarnation's murderous gaze and looked at the blood-refining demon god with a smile. The blood-refining demon god was silent and shook his head slightly. No need. Also, why is his gaze filled with killing intent? Cough. I like exciting ones. The blood-refining fiend celestial fell silent again. He knew a thing or two about male pets and female servants. It was common for demons to capture humans as their male pets or female servants. However, it was the first time he had seen a male fiend celestial capture an old man as his male pet. Why is my clan full of such weirdos? The blood-refining demon god sighed in his heart. Then, he looked at the two of them with his eyes filled with demonic aura and asked again, that huge demonic beast, which direction did it go? At first, he was still suspicious of the two of them. However, since Ning Tian displayed the fiery demon god's demonic aura, his suspicions dissipated a lot. After all, under normal circumstances, the demonic aura couldn't be taken away by others. It went in that direction. Ning Tian pointed in a direction casually and scolded, Lord Demon God, you must avenge our small demon region. The demonic beast's owner, that bastard Ning Buxu, mocked you for not having a mother. You must avenge him. At the side, Tao God Reincarnation suddenly had a new understanding of Ning Tian. Damn it, shameless. You're courting death. In an instant, the blood-refining demon god's eyes flashed with killing intent. Then, he rushed in the direction that Ning Tian pointed at without hesitation. Phew, he's finally gone. Seeing that the blood-refining demon god disappeared, Ning Tian let out a sigh of relief. At that moment, he saw Tao God Reincarnation's strange gaze. Speaking of which, you're Ning Buxu, aren't you? You even have the heart to scold yourself. No way. I'm scolding Ning Buxu. What does that have to do with me, Ning Tian? Ning Tian said with a straight face. A little more than ruthless. Tao God Reincarnation gave him a thumbs up. Let's go. Before the demon god notices that I lied to him, let's run away. Ning Tian said and was about to pull them out of small demon region. However, at that moment, a faint voice was heard. Little thing, how dare you lie to me? The two of them turned around abruptly and saw the blood-refining demon god appear behind them again. This demon god came back so quickly. Ning Tian frowned and thought of a way to kill the blood-refining demon god gracefully. However, there seemed to be only one way, which was to run. Run. As soon as he said that, Ning Tian and Tao God Reincarnation dashed out at the same time. Humph. Trying to run? The blood-refining demon god snorted coldly and killing intent flashed across his eyes. He did go there just now. However, when he realized that there was no aura at all, he knew that he had been fooled. Hence, he came back immediately. I was almost fooled by you. No, you've been fooled by me. Ning Tian, who was running in front, corrected the blood-refining demon god seriously. The blood-refining demon god was stunned and his face darkened. Kid, this demonic god wants you to suffer a fate worse than death. He roared and dashed over. "Oh? So, do you want me to die or not? Give me a quick death." Ning Tian's despicable voice was heard from the front again, and it triggered the blood-refining demon god's anger. "Of course I want you to die." The blood-refining demon god gritted his teeth. He chased after Ning Tian, but realized that he couldn't catch up with him. There was always a small distance between them. "Oh? So, do you want me to die horizontally or vertically?" F*CKU. Shut up for this god. There was a flash of killing intent in the blood-refining demon god's eyes. How can this kid be so infuriating? I want to kill him. Shut up. I think you should be the one who should shut up. Shut up. Hearing that, Ning Tian suddenly stopped and said to the blood-refining demon god. As soon as he said that, the demon's heart in his body surged with demon aura. The demon's heart was shrouded in a huge pressure, and it blasted towards the blood-refining demon god. He wasn't shooting his mouth off earlier. He was just stalling for time. By concentrating all the demon aura on the demon's heart, as long as he could intimidate the blood-refining demon god for a short while, he would still have a chance to fight back. Boom. As soon as he said that, the blood-refining demon god's face changed, and he couldn't help but be shocked. As soon as he said that, there seemed to be some kind of pressure on him, and he couldn't speak for a moment. The huge demon aura also circulated around him. "Old Taoist, Sha Tian, now's the time. Kill him." Following Ning Tian's roar, Reincarnation Dao God slammed his palm at the blood-refining demon god with all his might. At the same time, the blood-sealing Lion King transformed into a huge creature again, and the lion roared. "Humph! You overestimate yourself." In such a situation, the blood-refining demon god didn't panic at all. He stared at the demon aura and slammed his palm heavily. The blood-refining demon god was a chaotic ancient god, and there was a huge difference between him and a supreme ancient god. How could he be afraid of a supreme ancient god? The reason why he was restrained by Ning Tian's demon aura was because of the demon's heart. Boom. A slap. Dao God reincarnation flew out, and the blood-sealing Lion King was also turned into a mascot by the slap. "Ning Tian, this won't do." The blood-refining demon god is an almighty of the demon tribe. The difference between a supreme ancient god and a chaotic ancient god is too huge. Dao God reincarnation pulled the blood-sealing Lion King back, and then retreated to Ning Tian's side with a solemn expression. Ning Tian nodded slightly, and there was a flash of solemnity in his eyes. "You've shocked the blood-refining demon god." Acquired. Power of Absolute Command. Introduction. Absolute Command can only be used on the demon tribe. The stronger the opponent, the higher the possibility of failure. The lower the opponent, the higher the success rate. Right then, the system's voice rang in his mind. Absolute Command? Hearing that, Ning Tian frowned. Judging from the introduction, it was obviously a growth skill. In other words, it wouldn't be of any critical use in the current battle situation. Phew, forget it. I can only give it my all. Maybe I'll be lucky. Ning Tian heaved a sigh of relief. The demonic figure whizzed past. He looked at the blood-refining demon god, and there was a flash of light in his eyes. "Looks like you guys are out of moves." The blood-refining demon god said faintly, and then turned into a black, ghostly figure and charged toward Ning Tian and the others. The enormous demonic aura turned into a sharp blade, and it seemed like it could easily kill the two of them. "Old man Dao, if this guy is slow for even a second, then just kill him." Ning Tian narrowed his eyes and said, Dao God reincarnation nodded. Although he didn't know why the blood-refining demon god was slow for a second, he could only follow Ning Tian's method now. Demon God Seal. Demonic aura appeared in the blood-refining demon god's hand, and he threw a slap. The whistling palm wind gave the two of them a strong sense of oppression. Use this move to kill yourself. Then, just as he was about to charge over, Ning Tian took a deep breath and activated his demonic aura. If he was the European king, he would have a certain chance of success with the absolute command. Are you kidding me? Ridiculous. The blood-refining demon god sneered. However, a force appeared on his body and fixed him on the spot. Then, the raised palm moved toward him uncontrollably. What? The blood-refining demon god's face changed. I'm really lucky. A wisp of bright light flashed through Ning Tian's eyes when he saw this, and then he shouted explosively, "Old man Dao, attack with me. Let's kill himself together with the blood-refining demon god." Dao god reincarnation threw the flame-sealing Lion King aside and charged toward the blood-refining demon god with Ning Tian. Boom. At this moment, the blood-refining demon god's punch was affected by the absolute command, and it landed on him. At that moment, the blood-refining demon god realized how powerful he was. At the same time, Ning Tian and Dao god reincarnation's strongest attack landed on him too. Boom. Boom boom. Ah! In an instant, the powerful aura exploded from the blood-refining demon god's body, and the blood-refining demon god screamed in pain in the blood mist. Is he dead? Dao god reincarnation frowned. He's not dead. Move away. Ning Tian frowned. The moment he looked over, he saw two terrifying crimson figures charging out from the blood mist and punching the two of them hard. Poof! Blood spurted out from the two of them. Then, the two of them fell into the demonic sea below like kites with broken strings. Roar! Seeing that, the flame-sealing Lion King roared and its body grew bigger again. It charged over and caught the two of them. However, as it had just taken a punch from the blood-refining demon god, its body was only dozens of meters tall. Boom boom! Ning Tian and Dao god reincarnation fell on the back of the flame-sealing Lion King. Crack! At the same time, they seemed to hear something breaking. Damn it! How dare you injure me? In the blood mist, the real body of the blood-refining demon god appeared before everyone. At that moment, his body was crimson red and there was a strange blood flowing through it. It transformed into 6 bloody arms, and it looked extremely creepy. Today, I'm going to kill all of you. The blood-refining demon god's eyes landed on the back of the flame-sealing Lion King, and his eyes were filled with murderous intent. Oh, blood-refining, who are you going to kill? Just then, there seemed to be ice in the world, and a woman's voice resounded in the surroundings. Author's words, I want to say something, but I don't know what to say. Forget it. Sigh. Chapter 573. Heaven and earth turned cold because of a single word. A graceful figure quietly appeared between heaven and earth. What a powerful aura. This is a sovereign. As soon as the woman's voice fell, the blood-refining demon god's expression changed drastically. The demonic flame on his demonic body dissipated a lot. Vaguely, the aura was fear. At this moment, a graceful figure appeared in front of Ning Tian and the others. Her pair of cold eyes fell on the blood-refining demon god. Dao god reincarnation lay on the back of the fire-sealing Lion King, covered in blood. He looked at Ning Tian, who was also covered in blood, and said quietly, Ning Tian, you don't have any morals. You called your parents when you can't win. What? Old Dao, you don't like it? Ning Tian grinned. The one who appeared between heaven and earth was the eldest senior sister of the heavenly palace, Yishuang. To tell the truth, he did not know how he summoned Yishuang. However, the heavenly palace's ancient tablet shattered. Perhaps the 9 primes of the heavenly palace left a backup plan in the ancient tablet and did not tell him. However, no matter what, it played a key role. Cough, I like it. Dao God reincarnation coughed dryly. 9 primes of the heavenly palace. Yishuang. The moment he saw Yishuang, the blood-refining demon god trembled and almost wet himself. Countless ways to die flashed through his mind. Yishuang was the leader of the 9 primes of the heavenly palace. Her strength was far above his. Blood refinement, you hurt my junior brother. How dare you? Yishuang looked at the blood-refining demon god indifferently. Her voice was cold. What? Junior brother? Hearing that, the blood-refining demon god's expression changed drastically. He looked at Ning Tian with a dumbfounded expression. Isn't this thing from the demon clan? Otherwise, How could it have such a demonic aura? And the moment he looked over, Yizichen's eyes lit up. The demonic aura on Ning Tian's body had dissipated. He had exited the mode of being in the same body. Under the 1,000 feet tall demonic figure was a handsome young man, the blood-refining fiend celestial. He originally thought that Ning Tian was a traitor of the Devil Clan. Otherwise, even many devil gods of the Devil Clan did not possess such devil chi. How could a human possess such devil chi? And, you brat, you're from the Heavenly Palace? Why didn't you say so earlier? The blood-refining fiend celestial wanted to curse, so he did. If Ning Tian had said that he was from the Heavenly Palace at the beginning, maybe he would have swallowed his anger. Oh, I forgot. Ning Tian scratched his head. Blood refiner fiend celestial, @%*, have you forgotten? Just because you forgot, this demonic god is going to die. Cough. The blood-refining fiend celestial coughed dryly and looked at Yi Shuang shamelessly. Can you give me face and let me go back? No. Yi Shuang shook her head slightly. A glint flashed across her beautiful eyes. Then, she raised her jade-like hand and slammed it toward the blood-refining fiend celestial. Instantly, there was a terrifying chill. This is the ice law? Seeing this, Ning Tian frowned and a trace of doubt flashed in her eyes. The mastery of the ice law doesn't seem to belong to the ice goddess. But the ice goddess hasn't appeared for a long time. Reincarnation Tao God muttered to himself. I'm the author of this book, River Separation. First of all, let me apologize first. There are indeed many unsatisfactory things in the later part of this book. This has a lot to do with the first time I wrote 1,000,000 words. Since the ancient road to becoming a god, I've been a little confused. It's really hard to write, but I have to write. Even if it's hard to write, I have to write. This is not the feeling I want. There are indeed many people who abandoned the book in the later part. I've seen all of this. I want to redeem myself, but there's nothing I can do. Because it's true that my writing is a little bad. Many people say that it has changed. I know, but I can't find it no matter how hard I try. The readers of this book tower should be able to see the results of this book. Since I wrote this book, regardless of whether it's the chasing list or the silver ticket list, it's always at the top. The results are obvious to all. But it's precisely because of this result that it puts a huge burden on me. I'm afraid that I won't write well and disappoint too many readers. Now, my condition is really bad. I sleep at 3 or 4 o'clock every day. In the past, when I published in the morning, I basically stayed up all night to write. My physical condition is also much worse. I'm a little depressed. In short, I'm not saying all this for the sake of being a eunuch. This book will definitely not be a eunuch. The main reason is that I want to rest for a week, adjust my condition, and perfect the outline. I know, this behavior of not updating is undoubtedly courting death. Once I stop updating, the results of this book will probably fall to the bottom. If that's the case, I'll accept it. But even so, I also have to adjust my condition and write an interesting plot. I definitely won't write in this state of not being in the right state. Readers of the book tower, don't vote for me anymore. Vote for other authors. After 7 days, if you're still willing to read this book, then continue. Everyone. 7 days later. Be there or be square. To be continued. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.